Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Yes, it is Morning Juice. Yes, it is Bobby Carpenter. It is not Brandon Beam. Beamer's back tomorrow from...
golfing.
Okay, well, I was going to say he was with Aaron Rodgers hanging out doing some ayahuasca. What is it? Ayahuasca. There we go.
You should really watch the Netflix documentary on him.
On Beam?
No.
Oh, Aaron
on
Rodgers.
On Aaron Rodgers.
Say, Beam's got one. He's...
What's it
I don't know why he's slumming it down here with you and Shark.
What is it called? Awaken, I think?
Awaken it's called?
Something like that. It's a great name.
Have you talked to Aaron about that?
No.
All right. Well, that'd been a great segment.
Enigma.
Okay, that's what it's called? Enigma?
Yeah, Aaron
Enigma.
Rodgers.
All right.
I'm Tim May on my headline. Aaron Rodgers, Enigma.
Enigma. Hey, how about that Enigma stuff? Tito, I'm in for Brandon Beam today. He's back tomorrow. Shark back there running things for us. Media legend, Mark the Shark, who is on the 18th hole of his radio career. We got a big show lineup for you today.
Hole. I mean, we're walking. This is Jack in the final walk-up, man.
Is he on the bridge of St. Andrews? Is he waving to people? That's what he is, yes.
We're looking at the green. We got a nice approach coming in. We feel good about it.
I mean, look, I know you get a lot more questions than I get throughout but when I'm out and about and people, and they know I'm Tito and all this stuff, I get more questions about Shark than anybody else.
Of course.
What's he like?
He's a radio legend in Columbus, Ohio.
Is he? How good? Like, what's he like in the media world? Like, privately, what's he like and all this stuff? And I always downplay it. I always talk about his. I say Bobby thinks he's a commie. You know, things like that.
Yeah. And a Nazi.
And
a pot smoker.
And
listen, I've never said that. I just know what I smell. Sure.
You talk about the fresh grass being grown over at Crew Stadium and that it's using my heat lamps to grow it.
We got a lot to talk about today. There's a lot going on in college basketball, the NBA, the NFL. Oh, my God, so much. We got Bill Bender coming on at 6:30 from the Sporting News. We're going to talk to him about what's going on in the world of sports. We'll look at Bob McElligott. Great time to talk to Bob McElligott. Also, after the Jackets get the win 7-3 against the Rangers. We also are going to have Joshua Perry on Monday, his favorite day of the week, and we get to have him on every time on Mondays during that favorite day of his week. But there's Ohio State men's and women's basketball. There's so much going on right now. But let's start with this, Bobby. Let's do Today in History. Are you ready, my friend?
I'm always ready.
All right.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, take it away, General.
Oh, geez. I thought I was ready, off.
But you're not?
Well,
that's okay. You want to pause? Or
no, there is no pause. There is no pause today for this. I grabbed the wrong sheet before I left this morning, and I had one out from last week. So March 7th, it is not. It is
March 10th.
Which makes that the 69th day of the year, 296 days remaining in this 2025 as we cruise down here. Today in history, this date, 1847, the first money is minted in Hawaii. This date, 1933, Nevada becomes the first state to regulate narcotics. See, that was a big deal for you.
Sure.
Right there, Sharky. Missed this, 1876. So I believe on the 7th, Alexander Graham Bell patented the telephone.
He did on the 7th, yep.
On the 10th, he invented the telephone, and so now he had it rolling. First successful telephone. I don't think he had any idea that we'd be going from landlines and cords to where we are right now with everything and all the craziness that ensues. This date, 1965. The Beatles have another number one hit with 8 days a week.
Hold me, love me. I ain't got nothing but love, babe. 8 days a week.
8 days. Where's that rank in your catalog, Shark, of Beatles fans?
Number 28.
Number 28? All right, I like it.
What's your number one, Shark?
Golden Slumber. Carry the weight.
Whatever.
He's got to go deep tracks.
He's trying.
No, that's not deep.
I think that's a deep track. Yeah, I agree with Bobby. It's a deep track.
Was that one of their number ones? If it didn't make it,
It wasn't. No.
No.
Yeah, if it didn't make the number one album,
I would say All You Need Is Love is
man.
mine. All You Need Is Love and Let It Be are my top two.
Let It Be
Let
is
It Be
the
is
best.
top 3. Hey Jude's top 3.
Did you ever hear the story about McCartney with the Let It Be? Like where he said he had like a dream and
Yeah,
his mom was
mother.
his mom was talking to him
Yeah.
after she had passed
Shark-
away.
Sharks told us this story about
he
30
has?
times. Yeah.
Okay,
They
sorry. then.
banned it from radio because they thought Mother Mary meant marijuana, and it was his mother.
His mother's
Who was
named Mary. Yeah.
She died
Her
when he
last
was
name also though
15.
was Wana, which is what the problem. That's confusion came in.
See, Shark knew that story for a reason.
Of course he did.
I was saying.
I don't.
Also big on this day, other music news. Gloria Gaynor's "I Will Survive" hits number 1.
Did you think I could lay down and die? Oh, no, not all. I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive.
After my first marriage ended, I played that song all the time in the morning to wake up.
Really?
Yeah,
It's a great one. I really enjoy
I
it.
did survive.
We got some holidays observances today. This date, 1940, turning 85 years young today. The man that can do no wrong. He doesn't sleep, he merely waits. He doesn't do push-ups, he pushes the world down. Mr. Chuck Norris.
When Chuck Norris does push-ups, he doesn't push himself up, he pushes the earth down. There are no steroids in baseball, only players Chuck Norris has breathed on. Rather than being birthed like a normal child, Chuck Norris instead decided to punch his way out. Chuck Norris doesn't churn butter, he roundhouse kicks the cows, and the butter comes straight out. When the boogeyman goes to sleep every night, he checks his closet for Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris's tears cure cancer. Too bad he never cries.
That's a great one.
That's a good one there. I like that
Chuck
one.
Norris's tears cure cancer. Too bad he never cries. Love to see that. Some other big birthdays today. Shark made me put this one in here. I didn't want to.
Oh no! Here we don't
Well-
please don't do this to him.
Do what to who?
Okay, good. Go. Do you think? Go ahead.
Born in 1957, passing away at 0:30, 2011. Osama Bin Laden.
Osama bin Laden's journey toward jihad and global terrorism began in Saudi Arabia in 1957. He was the 17th of more than 50 children of a self-made billionaire. Most of his brothers were educated abroad, but Osama stayed in Saudi Arabia. Then in 1979, Soviet troops invaded Afghanistan, and Osama bin Laden found his calling, helping the Afghans fight their jihad, holy war. After the Soviets were chased out, bin Laden founded Al-Qaeda, the base, and turned toward a global jihad. The new enemy was America, which ironically had funded the Afghan resistance against the Soviets.
How about that?
Shark, do you think when you're retired, I'm not getting into like who's taking over because I don't know what everything's going on in the behind the scenes. Whoever it is, though, sitting in that chair after you're gone, do you think Bobby will accuse them of being a communist, a Bin Laden fan?
I'm guessing Bodie probably doesn't even know who Bin Laden is.
Probably fair.
Just guessing.
Yeah.
That would be tragic. There's a chance that that's the case, though. I think he
Will you
does.
label him that way, though? As a drug-using,
I've got to figure out
sex swing?
I got to figure out what Bodie is. I'm not sure.
No, first of all, Bodie is, no one knows it, but it's an enigma. There you go. How about that?
That's part of it.
2 times they did we mentioned today.
Big win last night for the Cavs. Mr. Cavalier, Mr. Austin Carr, turning 77 today.
Carr hits again. 35 points for Austin Carr. Carr's banker is good, and Austin Carr has 42 points. That's Austin Carr with a left-handed bank shot. He left, right, hook, jump, outside, inside, doesn't matter. Austin Carr again, 50 points for him. Carr driving and hit and holds the Notre Dame record of 57 points. Long jump shot. 61 points for Austin Carr. That's it. Notre Dame wins and goes into the quarterfinals. They'll play Kentucky next Thursday night at Columbus, Ohio. But there's the story of the game. He broke Bill Bradley's record of 58. He got 61.
There we go. Thursday night in Columbus, Ohio.
61 points against Ohio.
Was it in
Ohio University?
Was St. John Arena? Is that where it was?
No.
Okay.
No, but it's the NCAA tournament record, 61 points. And I think he's got 3 of the top 5 records for points in a game in NCAA tournament history.
Well,
That was before the 3-point line.
it's pretty amazing. And coming up here, The next birthday probably has one of the top 5 scenes Shark ever loved. Basic Instinct, Sharon Stone turning 67 years old.
Mr. Trammell has waived her rights to an attorney.
Did I miss something? Why did you think I wouldn't want one?
I told him you wouldn't want to hide.
I have nothing to hide.
There's no smoking in this building, Miss Trammell.
What are you going to do? Charge me with smoking?
Would you tell us the nature of your relationship with Mr. Boz?
I had sex with him for about 1.5 years. I liked having sex with him. He wasn't afraid of experimenting. I like men like that. Men who give me pleasure. He gave me a lot of pleasure.
Good movie?
I've never seen the whole movie.
Okay.
I've seen that scene.
Come on.
I've never seen the whole movie.
Listen, I just watched 2 movies this week that you guys have recommended, and I watched the Buckeyes lose to Indiana.
Yeah.
So some of the Jackets game and some of the Cavs last night. So listen, I was packed up. We didn't have a whole lot of kids sports, so I actually got a lot done. John Hamm turning 54, the actor, and Carrie Underwood turning 42 years young today.
Jesus, take the wheel, take it from my hands, 'cause I can't do this all my own.
And Olivia Wilde, famous actress, turning, most notably off House, turning 41 today as well. Some holidays observances before we get you out of here on this. It is landline telephone day. It is blueberry popover day. National dry shampoo day. How about that? National pack your lunch. Shark packs his lunch here every day. Yes?
No.
You pack that apple.
I bring an apple in. That's not packing my lunch.
That's a lunch.
It's a red, delicious apple I eat at 3:30 a.m.
And National U.S. Paper Money Day. And those are your historical events. Your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, March 10th, the 69th day of the year, and 296 days remaining in this 2025.
Well done, as always, General. Coming up next, NFL free agency kicks off today, but there was already a flurry of moves this weekend. That's next. Morning Juice, 97.1 The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, no crashes to tell you about, but watching things pick up on 71 as you're making your way into downtown and on 33 on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. The one you love is the light of your life. And if you're like most of us, you want to do whatever you can to nurture your relationship. But if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction, you know the impacts the condition is likely having on you and your partner. ED is a relationship destroyer. It can contribute to depression, distancing, conflicts, and even breakups and divorce. And what's so disturbing about this is that most men who suffer with ED can be successfully treated, but a lot of guys don't seek treatment when they should. At Tri-State Men's Health, we have protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases. In fact, if you're like most guys, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and maybe find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. So call Tri-State Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
Start 2025 with significant growth and earning potential at Uline. Interview for warehouse roles at Uline's March hiring event in Etna, Ohio. Earn reliable income starting from $25 an hour with a $2 night shift increase. And get full health and retirement benefits on day 1. Don't wait. Start building a long-term career at a growing company. Sign up for your warehouse interview on Saturday, March 22nd in Etna at uline.jobs. That's uline.jobs.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting hinderermotorcompany.com.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get one line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Columbus Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
The Open Season Sportsman's Expo, presented by Progressive and Can-Am, this Friday through Sunday heads to the Ohio Expo Center. Tickets on OpenSeasonSportsman'sExpo.com. Buy early and save. Be sure to check out Tacticam and Toyota Tundra, official cell cam and truck of the Expo.
Get your furnace fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
The Blue Jackets are making a push for the playoffs, and they can't wait to fire the cannon right in your face. Wait, that was a touch violent. I'll try again. It would be helpful to chart their progress right here on The Fan. Thank you kindly.
Feeling the aches and pains of everyday life slowing you down? Introducing Blue Emu, America's #1 emu oil formula for pain relief. In a recent clinical trial, 91% of users saw improvement after using Blue Emu. Whether you're working hard, playing harder, or just staying active, Blue Emu penetrates deep to relieve joint and muscle pain fast. And best of all, you won't stink. Join the 91% who felt the difference. Find Blue Emu at your local retailer or online. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
Springtime is here, and you know what that means. It's time for mulch madness. Did you know that too much mulch is bad for trees and shrubs? 2 inches of mulch is plenty. Any more and you risk causing roots to grow up and around trunks, which increases unhealthy stress, shortens tree life, and even keeps moisture from getting down to tree roots. To find out more about mulch madness or to find a certified arborist near you, visit treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
If you're like most Americans, you've racked up tens of thousands in credit card debt. You're stuck with 20% interest fees, and even the monthly payments, well, they're hard to make. It's insane. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. The good news is that there is a way out. AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com. Advantage First Lending. They specialize in fast, easy access to the equity in your home. Most homeowners have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their home equity. That's your money. AFLcash.com can get it out for you with zero junk fees and zero hassle. You can pay off all those credit cards in just a matter of days. Pay off your car loans too. Cut your monthly expenses by $800 or even $900. I'm telling you, the relief you need, well, it's right there at your fingertips. AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. That's 844-394-CASH. Break out of the credit card debt prison with AFLcash.com.
Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today we're looking at a lot of sunshine out there. Highs around 65. Tonight, clear, low 42. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 70. Partly cloudy on Wednesday with a high of 60. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV Weather Impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
All right, Morning Juice. Tito, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Beamer's back tomorrow. I keep saying that like it's an excuse. Like it's almost like a disclaimer. Like, hey, just so you know, I'm here today, but Beamer's back tomorrow. But I'm glad he's back. Good for him. Getting some time off here. Well-deserved time off. The NFL free agency is kicking off officially today, but there's been obviously tampering and whatever going on. We know that, Bobby. But Myles Garrett signed an extension with the Browns that will average $40 million and includes a no-trade clause. So the guy who said, I want to be traded from this team because they will not win a Super Bowl or will not contend, now says, I want to be here and I'm going to stay here for the $40 million. I believe, Bobby, that this is a bad look for the Browns.
That's your take on it?
I think it's, I'm not saying it's not a smart signing to have Myles Garrett. Fantastic player, fantastic talent. Yes, and he's worth this money. I got all that. But the fact that Myles Garrett said, I don't want to be here because I want to go to a team that will win.
Yeah.
And then says, just kidding, I want to go with who will pay me a lot of money.
That's what the money's for, that off.
I understand that.
So do you think he was lying when he said that? Or do you think the Browns stepped up and said, hey, we're going to pay you this, and maybe there was other assurances that were given in this.
But do you believe that, though? Like, if you're Myles Garrett, if the Browns say, hey, you know what? I know we've botched a bunch of drafts. I know we made a terrible
it was getting
signing.
Contentious because they said Jimmy Haslam wouldn't talk to him.
Yeah, Haslam wouldn't meet with him. But it was like the Browns have, they want to say to you, look, I know we made some awful draft picks. I know we made a terrible choice in making this trade for Deshaun Watson.
It's not even the draft picks. You're going to hit on some and miss on the others.
Right.
I think it's more the fact that they chose last year to not retain Joe Flacco due to the
they didn't want Watson to feel competition.
Yeah, the fragile nature of Deshaun Watson. And so in doing that, if he didn't end up turning out this year, which I don't think anybody had believed he'd shown enough to think that he could, there was potential, but he'd been hurt. There have been a bunch of reasons why. But you're not going to do that. You want me to go out here and play hard and do all these other things. And I'm doing this. I've been a pretty good teammate in large part. And you're doing that and having him come in without bringing back Joe Flacco and just giving it to Watson. Like, you're not really trying to win. You're trying to appease that guy.
Right.
And so I understand you gave him the deal, but that's, to me, if I looked at it as a player, that's the thing I'd have been the most upset about. So maybe they said, okay, here's our plan for quarterback moving forward. And if that's the case and he felt good with it, okay, well, then we'll do that and we'll make you the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. And we're going to do this, and this in free agency, and this is our plan. And all right, then maybe he felt good about it.
I can't believe. But Bobby, when you look at the Browns' track record in the last 5 years, what they've done,
they've been aggressive and tried.
They've been aggressive and tried. Yeah, it's fine. They'll run through a brick wall for you. It's the wrong brick wall, but they'll run through it.
That's what my coach called, don't be the dumb warrior. Like, we don't need to run into battle without a sword. He's like, let's make sure we get all our weapons first. And I guess that's probably maybe what you're looking at, but I would still rather have that than be the Cincinnati Bengals, because the Bengals aren't trying to pay their guy. They don't stretch themselves to be creative and try to go for it. The Browns, despite their shortcomings and maybe their zest and eagerness, although misallocated, you can still look at it and say, listen, these guys are trying to win. They're trying to win. Whereas I look at Cleveland or Cincinnati and I'm like, okay, you just gave Trey Hendrickson, you know what, dude, if you don't want to be here, that's cool. You can go seek a trade. I know we got to pay Higgins, and I know we got to pay Jamar. Probably should have gotten one of those guys done by now, but we're horsing around. We just slapped the tag on Higgins again. And so it's like, because you don't have the cash, because you won't sell off a portion of your team or raise money, figure out a way to become more liquid. Like that to me, at least the Browns, like I said, it may be misallocated. And I've been highly critical of their decision to handle with the way they've handled this quarterback deal.
Sure.
Going into last year, I was like, Deshaun, you've got to prove to me you're the guy. I'm not giving you the reins. I've already given you the money. And so you've got to go prove that now. Joe Flacco is going to be back with us. And while he might not be the long-term answer, the greatest thing, my team at least knows what he can give us, and he gives us a chance to win should you not be able to get this done.
If I set the over-under on playoff games, and Shark, I want your answer on this too, on playoff games that Myles Garrett will play in while with Cleveland. Like, he could go somewhere else later on. Are
we counting current ones or ones moving forward?
We are starting right now. I set the bar, the over-under, at 1.5 playoff games Myles Garrett will play going forward in a Cleveland Browns uniform. Bobby, what would you take, the over or the under?
1.5 is pretty low. I could take the over on that.
Shark?
Over.
I think they could make the playoffs twice.
You guys are so optimistic.
It's a 6-year contract.
I understand that, but I know it's got no trade. He still could get traded, though, if he agrees to waive it in a couple years.
But he's played in 3 playoff games in the last 5 years. So I'm going to go with over.
Yeah, 1.5. 2 games isn't a lot. And the thing is, those can be in 9 consecutive years, so you don't even need to get away.
Right. It could be in 1 year.
It could be.
You could get them both in 1 year, or you could just be good enough to get in twice over 5 years, which, like I said, the Browns are trying to be good, and they do have elements of a good team.
The Steelers acquired wide receiver DK Metcalf from Seattle. Pittsburgh's trading a second-round pick this year and swapping picks in the 6th and 7th rounds with the Seahawks this year. Additionally, the Seahawks the Steelers, are signing Metcalf to a 5-year, $150 million deal. A lot of money for a guy who, he's 27, still in his prime, but it's a lot of money to pay a guy when you don't have a quarterback right now.
Well, I think it's hard to sometimes maybe get the quarterback if you don't have any weapons to provide him.
Right.
So I don't know if they're looking at. I think they said the lean was to bring back Fields more than it was Russell, because I think you know what Rustler is.
Yep.
They're probably going to bring in a veteran with them. Do you bring in Kirk Cousins? Do you bring in Aaron Rodgers? I mean, who else is potentially out there?
Right.
That I'm racking my brain. I don't think there's anybody that you would look at.
You got Darnold, you got Cousins,
Sam Darnold, yes. Sam Darnold being the other. Do you go with one of those guys, or do you draft another rookie? I don't know. Those are the questions.
Devonta Adams headed to the Rams on a 2-year deal. Josh Allen agrees to a 6-year, $330 million contract extension with $250 million guaranteed. Adams to the Rams now. We're still waiting to see what happens to Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Because, I don't think this changes anything about Kupp's situation. I think the Rams still want him traded. They want him to go somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, they're not going to pay him. They're going to trade or release him. It's just a function of what they can get back for him and who would be out there to be willing to take him on. You're not going to bring on Cooper Kupp unless you believe you have a quarterback that you're going to win now. And maybe this is the Steelers. I think they could probably get Cooper Kupp for a 6th-round pick.
Which of the Steelers would do it right now? Yes.
And that's what I'm saying. Now he's got a big salary that comes with it. That's the part of it. That's why people always look like, oh, that's all they could get for what's his name, who just went to Pittsburgh.
Oh, DK Metcalf. Yeah.
Like, that's all you could get for DK Metcalf. Well, the reason why that's all you could get is because he wanted a huge deal with it.
Right.
So you've got to pay him on top of getting him. So
which reduces the compensation.
Yeah. This isn't like you're giving me a guy with 2 years of salary control left on his deal. That's a very modest price. That's not as valuable to me.
All right, coming up next, Ohio University's MAC opener in the fall just got spicier, and we'll hear how Bobcat Bill Bender feels about that in 2 minutes. That's next. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Monday. No crashes to tell you about right now, but watching things pick up on I-70 on the far west side and on 33 on the southeast side. Make it a great week. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuckerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yes! Let's go!
That's you taking another sip of your
Mountain Dew!
Do the Do.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hash browns and smackdowns. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Okay, here we go now. Morning Juice. Tito, Bobby, Shark with you. Now we head out to the Bryant Heating Cooling System fan guest hotline. Bill Bender for the Sporting who joins us. Bill Bender, a proud Ohio University graduate. And Bowling Green has made a hired head coach, former Buckeye Eddie George. Just so happens your Bobcats take on Bowling Green in their MAC opener this year, Bill. Your thoughts on the Eddie George hiring by Bowling Green?
I don't like it because it's a great hire. As an Ohio grad, very good hire. I think Eddie George has worked his way up the coaching ladder. I spoke to him I think a year ago if he was getting started there at Tennessee State. He's obviously done a good job there, and I think from a recognition standpoint, having a guy that continue to work it up that ladder, and Bowling Green, that's a home run hire to me, which is it's not trouble for the Bobcats, but it'll make that game that much more interesting.
I think I saw a bill where he was the first quarterback. He was the first coach in Bowling Green history to have scored a touchdown against his current employer now.
I think it was his first NFL or first college football touchdown. I think it was his first one. I think it was against Bowling Green. Yeah.
Yeah, in a tighter game. So that'll obviously make it interesting, a little spicy there as well as they continue to move through with that. Are you surprised? I think this is something that we've seen now, Bill, throughout college sports. You've seen a number, and even in the NFL, where a number of former players who maybe aren't the most experienced in head coaching, but maybe they have lower level experience, like Deion Sanders, or maybe they've been somewhere else as an assistant, but have been getting these head jobs because this seems like it's a trend that is maybe started a couple of years ago. You look at Dan Campbell and some of the success that he's had, but some of these guys now, the former players, really beginning to take the lead.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys I played with on Madden, with Michael Vick taking a job and Deshaun Jackson taking a job. And it is an interesting trend. Like I said with Eddie, though, I mean, he did coach a couple years there at Tennessee State, moves up to Bowling Green. So at least there was some head coaching experience. And, the MAC typically, it gets good head coaches that end up moving up. I mean, you could look at, there's so many examples of that, Urban Meyer, Jim Grobe, et cetera. So I'm really interested to see how he does. And I think in this environment, he'll do well. So very excited to see it. And you mentioned that touchdown run. I watched that clip last night. I believe there were two tight ends on the field, and it was a power formation. I didn't know if that was still allowed.
Good call. Bill Bender from the Sporting News joins us right here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. The Ohio State men's basketball team, tough loss against Indiana up in Bloomington on the weekend. And what do you think needs to happen for Ohio State to make the NCAA tournament on the men's side?
I still have them as the last team in, but it's really close because you're going to have behind them teams like North Carolina, Texas, Boise State, and they're in that neighborhood where Xavier's last four in, San Diego State's last four in. So, number one, they've got to win a game or two in the Big Ten tournament. And then number two, you hope that, like, Memphis wins the American Athletic Conference, because if they don't, that would make that a two-bid league. You start to look for, you want some chalk to win. But it's going to be close. But I just think with their Ken Palm net rankings, that win against Kentucky is going to come up, that I still have them in, but they better win that first one, maybe that second one in the Big Ten tournament, just to be sure.
How would you grade Jake Diebler's kind of first full season now? Obviously minus the postseason play, but in his first full year as a head coach?
I mean, there's been ups and downs, no question. A couple bad losses, a couple really good wins. And I think for Ohio State, it's just going to come down to, there is a lot of talent in Central Ohio, and hoping that Ohio State can recruit some of those players and, get better on that front and maybe commit to that a little more. But I think he's done a nice job. If he gets them to the tournament in his first full season, still a young head coach. I mentioned last year, I knew of him when he was a point guard at Upper Sandusky High School winning a state championship, and he's a coach's kid. So if that continues and you give him a little bit more, I don't even want to say a little bit more time. You hired him, so you can't be letting go. Like NC State firing a coach 1 year after making the Final Four, I think that's patently absurd.
Bill Bender joins us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System Fans Guest Hotline. Switch over to the other side, on the women's side of the bracket, or women's side of the NCAA tournament for Ohio State, and they obviously need a top 4 seed to get them the possibility to host the first 2 rounds of the tournament. They had a big loss against UCLA. It just seems like there's UCLA and USC are like, as far as the Big Ten goes, they're in a different level than everybody else. So even though Ohio State lost big to UCLA, which was a bad loss for them, do you still see them getting a top 4 seed in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to do that now. I'm glad I wake up and do radio hit because I'm going to do the women's bracketology, try to get it out before 9 in the morning this morning. But I think they will get a top 4 seed. And you're exactly right that UCLA and USC, not only are they really good, they have star players on top of it, and Juju Watkins and Lauren Betts that can carry a team through a Final Four run. And I still think Ohio State will get that home pod and have a chance to make some noise in the tournament. It's just like you said, I think when you watch the women's game, UCLA, USC, and then Texas and South Carolina, those are going to be the number 1 seeds. And South Carolina reminded everybody yesterday that, hey, they're still the team to beat as far as I'm concerned.
You think there's more ambiguity, and parity at the top of the men's or the women's tournament this year, Bill?
That's a good question, because I mentioned those 4 teams on the women's side. You'll probably find the national champion there. As far as the men go, you could say I would take it down a little bit farther, because when you're seeing these bracketology or breakdowns that St. John's would be a number 3 seed, I think they should be a number 2. If they're, I would rather them be a number 2 seed than a Texas Tech or an Iowa State. But to answer your question, I think there's more candidates to win the national championship on the men's side, even though Duke has separated themselves a little bit with that freshman class and Cooper Flagg. I think the SEC has 3 or 4 teams that could win it. Michigan State probably should be getting talked about a little bit more as a number 1 seed. They move the ball well. They've got balance. They've got, I think, 7 guys that average 7 points per game. This is Tom Izzo's best team in a while, and they're quietly kind of just mowed down the Big Ten over the last month.
Bill Bender joins us here from the Sporting News on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. Obviously, a week from today, everyone will be filling out multiple brackets, probably in all likelihood. And you cover you pay attention to this stuff, and you've got a great knowledge of it. How well do you typically do against other people in brackets contests?
I won it last year. The Sporting News, we do a bracket. I won it last year with this revolutionary strategy of picking UConn and Purdue to make the title game when they were by far the 2 best teams in the country. Now, that gets you burned more often than not, though, because it is March. But I do okay, but I also fill out multiple brackets. I'm not one of those people that just fills out one. I respect that, but I like to have multiple brackets. I like playing March Madness squares. There's all kinds of games, and I enjoy all of them. It makes me feel like a kid again, because I'm one of those guys that when I was young, I would watch the selection show and fill out the bracket in pencil as they were saying it, knowing full well there'd be a copy in 5 minutes. I really enjoy this time of year. I really enjoy this week of the year, and I love conference tournaments just as much. How does that different for March Madness? Obviously, is the pinnacle of things, but did this year's college football playoff, did they get close to what March Madness feels like for you or not? I think they're getting closer. I go back to I was standing next to Bobby in the end zone at the Tennessee-Ohio State game toward the end of it, and just that atmosphere. And just having that first-round atmosphere was a really good start. They obviously need to refine some things. I think we need to seed the thing properly, probably extend it to 16 teams. It will always feel a little bit different, but I don't necessarily need them to be exactly the same. I do think college football, the way it's going and the way it has gone, our best move is to try to perfect this playoff so it's great for – when that, like the NFL playoffs are, and I think they're on the way to doing that. And I don't know if you can replicate the first round when a St. Peter's beats a Purdue or an FDU wins. I was at that FDU Purdue game here a couple years ago. I think you were too. It was an amazing atmosphere. It was incredible, no doubt about it. Bill, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much, bud, and get your women's bracket done, bracketology done, so we can get that out there and take a look at that. Hey, no problem, guys. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. You bet. That was Bill Bender with Sporting News joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. What I love about Bill Bender, Bobby, among all of our guests that we have at different shows, you can talk about anything with him. Oh, yeah. Bill covers it all. I mean, He does heavily college football, but we didn't even ask him any NFL questions. We got free agency kicking up here, but does men's hoops, women's hoops, does it all, man. Bill Bender is he's a five-tool reporter. All right, coming up next, a star goes down for 1 to 2 weeks in the NBA. That and more in Quick Hitters next.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Monday. Right now, no crashes to tell you about, but watching things pick up on 71 as you make your way into downtown and on 33 on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. All tournament long, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app. Sign up with the promo code Radio100 to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Save more green this St. Patrick's Day at Meijer. Enjoy Meijer corned beef, just $3.99 a pound. Red potatoes are $3.99 for a 5-pound bag. Enjoy an ice-cold Coca-Cola or Pepsi product. 12 packs are now on sale. Buy 2, get 1 free. Plus deposit where applicable. And Loft House decorated sugar cookies are only $3.99. We're working hard to bring more goodness to your St. Patrick's Day celebration at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Make your money go further with on-the-spot savings at Rent-A-Center. Right now, get top furniture and appliance brands starting as low as $19.99 per week in rent without using credit. Only at Rent-A-Center. Rental purchase agreement. Pricing valid February 9th, 2025 to April 5th, 2025 on new merchandise at participating locations. You will not own merchandise until the total amount necessary to acquire ownership is paid in full or you exercise your early purchase option. Ownership is optional. See store for details.
Bring the thrill of the stadium to your wallet with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the only checking account that rewards you for being a Crew fan. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and all right, somebody cue up the wedding bells because I just hit my wedding weight. Down 56 pounds with the Awaken 180, and I officially weigh the same as the day I said I do. What's even crazier was how fast I took off what probably took me 6-7 years to put on. Only 3 months in, and I've made a complete 180. We cracked open the wedding album to compare, and yes, I'm looking the same that I did 7 years ago. Although be it a few more gray hairs with a 2-year-old running around, that tends to happen. I'm not done, though. Once you learn how easy losing weight can actually be with Awaken 180, your goals, they start to get bigger. Wedding weight, yeah, I hit that. But why not see what it feels like, what it looks like to be at my ideal weight? All goals start shifting. Who knows? Maybe I'll start hitting some 5Ks, playing tennis, being more active. Probably not going to hit 5Ks, but hey, you never know what's going to happen. What does your life look like down 30 pounds, 50 pounds, or even more? To find out, do what we did and make your own 180 at awaken180weightloss.com.
Getting cold feet? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your furnace fast. Call 1-800-COOLING.
The Fan has been ranked as the second best sports station in America by our industry peers. A heartfelt thank you is in order. But we're not doing it because we're better than that hillbilly Birmingham station that came in first. Thanks for nothing.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Beamer has a very punchable face, so Bobby punches it. This is Morning Juice.
Indeed, it is Morning Juice. And now, let's do some quick hitters.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JustSports for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Hey, Sharky.
Hey, Tito.
What was it like covering Hopalong, Cassidy?
Hop played here before I was born. I think he won the Heisman in 54.
I want to say, yeah.
And I wasn't born till 60. So,
Well, technically.
yeah.
All right.
Did see Archie's 2 Heismans, though.
Of course you did.
Even you saw those.
I did not see those. I was too young.
You were alive, though.
I didn't see them, though. I wasn't.
All right. Well, you should
4 and
have.
5 years old.
You know, the Lakers have been on a roll. 18 wins in their last 22 games has vaulted L.A. into the second-place tie with Denver in the Western Conference. But now the Lakers are going to be without LeBron for at least 1 to 2 weeks after he suffered a groin strain Saturday against Boston. James is averaging 25 points, 8.5 assists, and 8 rebounds a game. Tito, the Lakers could take a rapid descent in the standings if LeBron misses an extended amount of time.
They say minimum 1 to 2 weeks. Now, apparently the groin injury was not as bad as one a few years back that he had where he heard a pop. But at 1 to 2 weeks, yes, he misses that. And they've got a big game coming up Friday night at Denver. When we talk about this whole thing with where they're with Denver right now in the 2 or the 3, they're second right now. They're 4 percentage points ahead of where Denver is. But this is a critical time. This is the time they need Luka to put the cigarettes down, put the beer down.
No way. Lean in. More cigs, more beer.
Do something here. This is an important stretch for the Lakers. They don't want to be the 4 seed. If you're the 4 seed, you have to play Oklahoma City the second round. They don't want to do that. Stay as the 2 or the 3. These next 2 weeks are critical, and they're going to say a lot about what Luka's doing and where he's at.
Programming note. Informationally, Hop Cassidy won the Heisman at 55 or 54.
That's what we said, 54, yeah.
Yeah, 50. No, they won in 55. They won the national championship in 54. Buckeyes.
Thanks, Bob.
2-time unanimous.
Who was the head coach in 54?
Woodrow Wilson.
Wayne
Wilson.
Woodrow Hayes.
Woody Hayes.
Took over in 1951. So, yes, until he hit that dude from Clemson. He was the
Charlie Bauman.
He was the head. He was Charlie Bauman movement. He was the head coach then. Listen, you're telling Luka to be less of what makes him great. All right? What sets him apart is his unique play style and lifestyle. So let him go out there and just be himself.
Smoke while he's playing.
Smoke on the sideline. When he comes off to the side, instead of handing him a towel, someone hand him a lit cigarette. All right? Let's let that guy roll.
It worked for Lenny Dawson.
It really did. They'll be good. I'm telling you. I mean, Luka's out of shape. He's got a bad back. He drinks too much, smokes too much, but the dude can hoop. So just let it be. I mean, LeBron's taking great care of himself, and this is why, like, at 40 years old, people are like, oh, he'll be back right then. I'm like, dude, this isn't LeBron at 30. This is a 40-year-old man, but, well, he'll be back. They, like you said, though, that off, it's critical that they do not slide past that 3 spot. They've given themselves a little leeway right here, but they don't have a ton.
With what happened to Myles Garrett and Josh Allen and DK Metcalf and Devontae Adams over the weekend, Aaron Jones' new deal kind of got lost in the shuffle, but the Pro Bowl running back is re-signing with the Vikings on a 2-year, $20 million deal.
Nice.
We give Sam Darnold a lot of credit for turning Minnesota around last season, Bob, but Aaron Jones rushed for 1,138 yards in his first season with the Vikings.
Very good. I mean, the former Packer went over there last year. You thought he might be, as the kids call it, quote, washed, but went out, played really well on a good team. Now, obviously, they've got great wide receivers. They've got a really potent offense, but he did his part, was very good. And, I mean, this is a veteran running back contract now. Like, this is what it looks like. We're going to give you 2 years, $10 million. It's good. It's not, we're not marrying you for the next 6 guaranteed or giving you this massive signing bonus. So kudos for him.
My issue with this, Bobby, though, is...
What's your issue?
Okay, so he's going to...
grievance police here.
He is 30 years old right now. He'll turn 31 in December.
Yeah, they gave him a 2-year deal.
I understand that. But he just set a career high in touches. 306 touches this year. Played 700 offensive snaps.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he had a great season, rushed for 1,138 yards, and had 1,546 yards from scrimmage this year. But nonetheless, I have a hard time giving a big contract like this to
okay.
I think 2 years, $20 million for a 30-year running back.
How
is
much
big.
that's guaranteed?
$13 million guaranteed.
It's a 1-year deal. If you play really well this year, you get the second.
I understand. I don't know if this is going to age well.
Age well, like we're talking age 1 year.
Well, still $13 million guaranteed though. It feels to me like
it's 1 year. They want to bring him back. They basically said, "Hey, here's you know what? We'll give you $10 million per year. We'll give you 13 guaranteed. So that way, there's $3 million tied into the next year. If you play well, you come back. If you don't, you're out of here."
Do you think Aaron Jones will have 306 touches next year?
Hopefully not. I mean, hopefully you start getting those touches down a little bit.
I worry about, coming off that high of if you have your career high in touches in the year you turn 30, I don't know if that's ideal for a running back. And I love the fact running backs getting paid now. I love the fact,
it's less than ideal, but
yes.
Here's the thing. They know about him. You would much rather sign your own guys who you know about and you feel confident in their health because you've seen them on a daily basis. And maybe they're like, hey, this guy practices every day. He's not beat up. He doesn't need to be managed. And maybe they feel like they can get one more good year out of him. Like, we don't need to marry him for 3 or 4, but we can marry him for 1.
We got Shark.
I got the Big Ten.
I call that the Bob Seger approach.
Yeah, I think
we've got tonight, Thedoff. Who needs tomorrow?
Let's make it last. Let's find a way.
We got tonight, babe, so why don't you say?
I think Tito's creating a story where there isn't one.
I've been accused of that before.
I mean, come on. $13 million guaranteed. It's a drop in the bucket.
Drop in the bucket. That's fine. I would have rather... The Vikings are smarter to sign Najee Harris, but go ahead.
The Big Ten has gone to a Friday night football game of the week, if you will. And now the Big 12 is playing copycat. The league has announced that 6 of its conference games are going to move to Friday nights this fall. Tito, that makes a total of 10 Big 12 teams who will appear on Friday Night Lights. It sucks.
No, I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. Look, we've all got choices. If you want to go watch high school football, go watch your high school football team. Go and do it. That's great. But if I'm somebody who has no interest in high school football, give me an option, something to watch. Big 12's fine. I'll watch that. Big 10's fine. I don't care if they go on Friday nights against high school football. Tradition is gone in football, all the way from the NFL down to this level. Tradition no longer exists. Don't say, oh, I shouldn't play college football that night because high school is going on. You have an option. As a fan, give me options, Bobby.
My grandma used to say, "Gimme died in the poorhouse."
Okay. Did she really say that?
I don't think she did.
The 100% she did.
Your grandma had a lot of wisdom in her 90 years.
Her husband was born in like 1904. Like this is my grandfather. Like there was a lot there. I mean, they were alive when people were riding horses around still as means of transportation. My mom was the youngest of 7, so yeah, my grandma lived with us, but she'd like, give me died in the poorhouse. I can believe she used to tell us this other story too. There were 2 kids that go in for this job interview. I mean, this was classic Betty Dreyer. 2 kids going for a job interview. One kid had really nice clothes, all this other stuff, bad attitude. Other kid goes in, clothes had some patches on him, dressed clean and nice, but maybe not the nicest things around. And she's like, "Well, who do you think gets the job?" I'm like, "Okay, Grandma, this is like, parable. I can see where we're going here with this." But she's like, the manager said I can buy the poor boy clothes, but I can't buy the rich boy manners. That was always like, and so she was huge on how you treat people and some of those things. So gimme died in the poorhouse. Please, thank you. Those are some of the greetings that we'd like to use here at that office.
So are you in favor of the Big 12?
Bobby doesn't like Friday night college football, do you?
Listen, I don't like Ohio State on Friday night.
Okay.
If you want to play schools where nobody gives a crap about their high school football, by the way, in like New Jersey, they play their high school games on Saturdays. It's like everything's a JV game. It's the most depressing thing in the world. So there's states where it's not as big. But in states where football is of consequence, don't play Big State U on Friday nights. I don't mind going to a high school game, coming back, having some drinks, and watching the end of Rutgers and USC. That's fine to me. I don't need to see games of consequence and teams that matter being played. Don't give me Ohio State and Penn State and Georgia and Bama, like places where high school football matters. You want to throw on some Indiana or some Kansas or some of that trash, That's fine.
How about this, Bobby? Let's have high school football move to 1 o'clock on Sundays. Let's go up against the NFL. Hell, we'll see who wins that
I already
battle.
have the Northam Park. Northam Park,
you're right. That's already going on.
Already goes against that.
Coming up next in the re-rack, the OSU men and women had a tough weekend, and both are sweating out Selection Sunday for different reasons. We'll do that next. This is Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no crashes on the map to tell you about, but watching things pick up on 71 near downtown and on 33 as you make your way out near the Plain City, Dublin area. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steckerwald with your fan traffic.
Confidence is key this March, both in picking the right Cinderella teams for your bracket and the right contractor for your exterior project. When it comes to your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call the team you can trust. Newman Roofing. Call 614-NEW-ROOF today or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle and Market District. Find everyday savings and bargains on produce, meat, and more. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting long-term lower prices. With our weekly sales, deals for days promotions, and My Perks loyalty program, Giant Eagle helps make the most out of every shopping trip. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle and Market District today to see how easy it is to save.
At NJM Insurance, we're like a symphony. It all starts by doing the right thing. Add in dedicated reps and put policyholders first. But no jingles or mascots because it's just not us. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Got a car to sell? Germain Toyota of Columbus wants it and will pay you $1,000 over the Kelly Blue Book value. That's right. Germain Toyota Buy Center is making it easier than ever to get top dollar for your ride. No trade-in required, no pressure, just fast, easy cash for your car. Any make, any model, we want it. Stop by Germain Toyota of Columbus today or visit germaintoyota.net to get your free appraisal. Germain Toyota of Columbus on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Bobcat Enterprises is your family-owned partner for landscaping and construction projects. Bobcat Enterprises sells and services a full line of Bobcat equipment, including compact track loaders, excavators, tractors, and more. Plus, Bobcat rents compact equipment and attachments. With Bobcat, you can rent the machine and own the results. Keep your business local. Stop by Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard, Reynoldsburg, or Zanesville, and find current specials and our full line of products by visiting bobcatent.com today.
Basketball from noon to midnight. Scotty Vegas here, and we're throwing a Vegas-style basketball party at Hollywood Casino at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. I even went out to Vegas to scout out how to throw this party. Tough assignment. The Fan is doing 24 hours of watch parties. The opening weekend of the tournament, there'll be custom T-shirts, Pop-A-Shot, horse games. Oh, and don't miss a game with a 50-foot video wall. Reserve your spot at HollywoodColumbus.com. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, people are officially going crazy over our sleek, black-framed windows. They change the entire look of a home.
Leslie, nobody believes that just black frames can change the look of a home.
It's like when Superman put on his black-framed glasses and became Clark Kent.
Wait a second. Clark Kent is Superman? Are you messing with me right now?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Are you feeling tired, slower, or achier than you used to? You might think it's just age, but it could be low testosterone. At Columbus Men's Clinic, they've helped thousands of men who didn't realize their symptoms were caused by declining testosterone levels, a problem that's becoming a new norm in American men. Columbus Men's Clinic refuses to accept this new normal. They're committed to restoring testosterone to healthy levels so you can feel like yourself again, whether at home, in the gym, at work, or in the bedroom. For years, their medical provider has delivered testosterone therapy tailored to each man's needs. No one-size-fits-all solutions, just real science-backed results delivered by discreet local experts. Imagine more energy, sharper focus, and newfound confidence. A same-day testosterone check and consultation is just $99. Call 614-300-7400 or visit ColumbusMen'sClinic.com today. Your prime years aren't over. They're just waiting to be unleashed. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Finding the right employee for your company is tough. One wrong hire can be a major setback. You're not alone if you face this. A recent survey by Robert Half shows nearly half of hiring managers readily admit to making a bad hire. Luckily, there's a solution. With Robert Half's specialized recruiter's experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can have the right skilled professional in place quickly. We understand what it takes to build winning teams because at Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Michelle Smallman here. Are you dreaming of seeing your team draft their next superstar? Travel Wisconsin is sending 10 lucky fans and a guest to the draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Witness unforgettable moments and make memories that will last a lifetime. Don't miss out. Enter Travel Wisconsin's Dream Draft Sweepstakes. Visit travelwisconsin.com/draft to learn how you can win a trip to experience the biggest moment of the offseason. Epic moments that become lifelong memories are waiting to be discovered across Wisconsin. Terms and conditions apply.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. A pair of Adam Fantilli goals just 26 seconds apart gave the Blue Jackets a 3-1 lead over the Rangers in the second period. Minutes later, Columbus went on the power play, but instead of extending the lead, New York scored a pair of shorthanded goals 42 seconds apart to tie the game. No problem. The Jackets scored 4 goals in a span of 15 minutes to crush the Rangers 7-3 at Madison Square Garden. Fantilli wound up with his second hat trick of the season. In basketball, Ohio State's 6-point loss at Indiana on Saturday left the Buckeyes as the 10th seed in the Big Ten tournament this week in Indianapolis. OSU meets 15th seeded Iowa in a first-round game Wednesday at roughly 6 p.m. Make it 14 straight wins by the Cavaliers. They went to Milwaukee and beat the Bucks 112-100. The Sports Center is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates as low as 9.9% APR with the Visa Platinum Credit Card. Apply at bmifcu.org/visa.
If Bobby and Beamer aren't talking about it, it's not worth your time anyway. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Morning Juice here on a Monday. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lots went on this weekend. Why don't we re-rack it, Bobby?
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
Cavs beat the Bucks 112-100. Winning streak gets 13. Tomorrow they host the Nets with a chance to go to 14 there. Jackets beat the Rangers 7-3. CBJR New Jersey Tuesday to take on the Devils. Jackets now currently hold that number 1 wild card spot in the NHL over in that Eastern Conference. Eddie George signed a 5-year deal with BGSU. Bowling Green State University signs Eddie George. I like that hire, Bobby, and I think that it's trending in the right direction. I'm not saying. I'll make sure I'm careful how I say this. I want Ryan Day around forever. I'm fine with that. I want Hartline to be a head coach. Yes. But I'm saying the way that the trend, though, the trajectory Eddie George is going on, he could be in contention to someday be the head coach at Ohio State.
You know, the irony is I think Eddie's 51 years old, 52. I mean, he's not young. He looks young. He's in great shape. He's young in his coaching career. He did a great job at Tennessee State down in Murfreesboro, down there in Tennessee. So we'll see if he can continue to roll that at Bowling Green. If things are going good, I mean, I would say he'd be there probably 2 to 3 years and be able to move up and continue to develop. He's a great leader, unbelievable guy. And, yeah, I mean, I think he's someone that we've watched ascend, and this is only his second job. You know, I mean, he hasn't had many, and we'll see kind of how he continues to grow into this. But I think it's a knockout hire for them because it makes Bowling Green, you know, as a MAC school, like, you have to differentiate yourself in the state of Ohio.
Sure.
I mean, you've got Miami, Ohio. You've got Ohio University. You've got Toledo. You've got Bowling Green's second fiddle to Toledo. I know people don't want to hear that up there at Bowling Green, but that's the reality. You've got Akron. You've got Kent State. I mean, you've got to delineate yourself in some way. And now having a former Heisman Trophy winner, guy that played at Ohio State, you know, you feel like someone that can relate really well to these players. Like, that's a big piece of it. Eddie George gives you all that.
Shark, the fact that Bobby started it off by saying Eddie George is not young, he's 52, 54, and you and I are both over that age. Did you take offense to that as well, or is that just me?
I didn't take offense to it, but it's an eye opener. That's for sure.
That's what people talk about Ryan. I'm like, Ryan's young in his coach career, and Eddie George is older than he is.
I understand.
That's amazing.
I understand that. I'm just saying it felt disrespectful is what it felt like.
You or him?
Exactly. OSU men lost the Hoosiers to fall to the 10 seed, the Big Ten tournament. They'll take on number 15 seed Iowa. Ohio State men right now 17-14. They will take on 16 and 15 Iowa on Wednesday, with the winner advancing to play Illinois on Thursday. Tough loss for Ohio State. Double-digit lead they blew in that game in Bloomington. It was an awful one. But I feel like, Bobby, Ohio State's got to win. They've got to win twice in the Big Ten tournament to have a chance at the NCAA tournament.
I think if you win twice, you get in. I think once,
19 and 15 they'd be.
I get it. I don't think those numbers mean anything anymore because the conferences are so big. And as long as there's not any bid thieves out there in some of the mid-majors, and things kind of hold serve, which people it looks like it's going to do, because I don't know if there's any audit. I don't think there's a ton of at-larges coming from some of the smaller divisions this year.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel pretty good about that. I think if they win 2, they're in. I would have liked to have seen them beat Indiana on the road, especially with how that game was going. You know, you felt like you had it under control, and then you let that thing slip away in the last 6 to 8 minutes.
Right.
It was a painful watch, to say the least.
Oh, and when I look at it, Bobby, like with Ohio State, if they win that game, then they have the 8-9 game in the Big Ten tournament, and then they play Michigan State, which would likely be like a one. They probably, if they win the game in Indiana, they probably get one more win in the Big Ten tournament. They lose Indiana, now they could still get 2 wins in the Big Ten tournament. I think a win over Illinois will look better than the loss at Indiana.
Oh, well, if you got a win against Indiana, it'd be a win against a potential tournament team on the road.
Right.
So that would have been big. But you're right. Being able to beat Illinois, that would kind of offset this. But they've got to they got to stack a couple of wins here. Now, Deebs has done a great job of getting these guys, whenever they need to go get a win and their back's been against the wall, they found a way to get it done. And so I'm hoping that that's going to be the case. They did some really good things in that game against Indiana. And Indiana, listen, for the fact that Mike Brown's going to be leaving at the end of the year, or Mike Woodson, rather. Woodson's going to be leaving at the end of the year. Like, they've played really well the last 10 to 12 games. But you still want to make sure that you're getting that win. And so they got hit with a buzzsaw there, and it's on the road. And when things kind of flip against you, sometimes it can be really tough to kind of manage all that. So I get it. I understand it. It's a tough one, but they need to make the tournament this year. And the pathway to do it, like you said, is winning 2 more games.
That's the part that's tough for me, is that it seems like Ohio State has blown a lot of leads. And when they've had opportunities, like the Pitt game's one of them stands out to me. Indiana, really both times. The Michigan game recently. And that's the part that's concerning to me. But if Ohio State, if they can get 2, if they get to 19-15, I got to believe they get in. The OSU women lost to UCLA in the Big Ten semis on Saturday, 75-46, and we now wait until Selection Sunday to see if the Buckeyes can get a top 4 seed and a chance to host the first 2 rounds. By the way, UCLA went on. They had lost 4 straight to USC, but the Bruins knocked off the Trojans 72-67 in the Big Ten title game. The Ohio State women, Bobby, it's going to be interesting on Sunday to see what happens, but if they need to get that top 4 seed and host the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, that's huge. And that's the one thing about the women's tournament where it matters a lot more. Getting one of those top 4, having 2 rounds at home, it doesn't assure you getting in to the second weekend, but it helps a lot, man. Helps a ton.
Yeah, last year Ohio State hosted as well, and they lost in their second round game to Duke, is who they lost in that one. But UCLA, though, and USC, they just feel to me like they are a different level of basketball right now than the rest of the Big Ten.
They're playing well. You know, you go out there on that West Coast swing, and that's tough to kind of handle both of those teams back-to-back when they've been playing like this.
Myles Garrett signs an extension with Cleveland. Will pay him an average of $40 million, includes a no-trade clause. The Steelers acquired DK Metcalf from Seattle. Pittsburgh is trading a second-round pick this year and swapping picks in the 6th and 7th rounds with Seahawks. Additionally, the Steelers are signing Metcalf to a 5-year, $150 million deal. Josh Allen agrees to a 6-year, $330 million contract extension with $250 million guaranteed. And Devontae Adams is headed to the Rams on a 2-year deal. The Devontae Adams deal is one I think kind of went under the radar there, Bobby, because he's still a quality receiver. And, you know, if you got him out there and Puka Nacua, I know the Rams are still looking to move on from Cooper Kupp, but Adams is a big signing for the Rams.
It is. How old is he, by the way?
Adams?
Yeah.
Good question.
Devontae Adams. I bet he's 32, 33.
You think he's that old?
Yeah, he's getting up there. He is 32.
Yeah, 32. He'll turn 33 in December.
Yeah, so he's 32 years old. So he's still got some gas in the tank. He's a big physical guy, so that gives him the offset of, Puka Nacua is, more of a slot guy like Cooper Kupp. They're kind of the same player. This gives them that big physical piece on the outside. And I would say by this, that means they're probably keeping Matt Stafford.
Stafford signed. He did agree to an extension with them or a restructuring of the deal. So Adams, though, gets a 2-year deal with $46 million. $26 million of it's guaranteed, and he likes being out there on the West Coast. Look, most receivers I would think love to play out west and in domes.
Well, he's a Vegas guy to begin with.
Yeah.
So he's a West Coast dude, so this gets him closer back to home. It was interesting if you were going to see him and Rodgers move somewhere together. Then with DK Metcalf going to Pittsburgh, I was like, okay, well, that kind of eliminates, obviously, Devontae Adams from going there. I wonder if Pittsburgh would still be interested in bringing in Aaron Rodgers. If not them, obviously we saw Vegas just make the move for Geno Smith, probably not bringing him in there. I'm just curious kind of where he could potentially fit moving forward and what that's going to look like. And so as we move these pieces around, this is all pre-free agency. I mean, this is
right, yeah.
I feel like this is the first year there's been this many trades, or maybe that's happened more recently, but I don't feel like
not many big name players though. Not as many big name players. Yes.
Yes, like there's not a lot of big name guys in free agency, and so you're seeing a lot of these trades and swaps happening, right here on the eve of it.
All right, coming up next, the Jackets got a big win in the Big Apple last night. We'll celebrate by chatting it up with Bob McElligott next. This is Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we're watching a crash on the ramp from 270 northbound to 70 eastbound. This is on the west side. Watch for lane closures over there. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings. Plus, over $600 in digital coupons each week. And up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
We've lowered prices. You can save 15% or more on hundreds of items like Thomas Mini Bagels, Campbell's SpaghettiOs, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And listeners, they're always asking me about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. Well, if you're wondering if you could be a good candidate, let's say the answer is yes to any of these questions. First, is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain, knees, hips, back, shoulders, other joints, trouble sleeping, walking, day-to-day movement? Next, do you want to avoid surgery? Because I didn't want to deal with it. And all of the pain and the long recovery and the uncertain time that comes with it. Here's the best part. Most importantly, do you miss doing things you love because the joint pain is holding you back? Whether that's walking, jogging, hanging out with loved ones. If you answered yes to any of those, I bet you're a great candidate. So do not wait. Call QC Kinetics right now and ask for their free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can get you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. They're located in Dublin, Gahanna, or you can go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for two things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Rothman and Ice.
He's just one of those dudes that you see at the bar, just the guy you don't.
So he's looking for a fight.
It's the guys that you see when you're out if they got the cauliflower ear. No, you don't want to mess with them.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Tough, reliable, and ready to work. You were born that way. Kubota is built that way. Our entire ag lineup, featuring versatile tractors and hay tools, powerful skid steer loaders, and the rugged Sidekick utility vehicle, is designed with the engine of a Kubota and the heart of a farmer. Visit KubotaUSA.com to find a dealer near you.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, we are waking up in the 30s. Heading into this afternoon, though, grab your T-shirts because we are warming up to 65 degrees. A lot of sunshine today, a lot of sunshine tomorrow, even warmer with a high around 70. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. Miss a minute of the show?
Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Type in Morning Juice and subscribe.
This is Morning Juice.
And the Morning Juice podcast is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100. And Bobby, it's sometimes we've talked about the Jackets, and it hasn't been always great, but this season's been mostly great. And now we will talk Jackets with Bob McElligott.
Morning Juice presents Talking Jackets.
Now it's Boone Jenner along the end boards, and he stuffs it behind Peter Mrazek for the score.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Not many things are better in radio, Bobby. There, Bob McElligott called a goal by the Jackets. He got to call them 7 times last night as the Jackets beat the Rangers 7-3. Bob McElligott, play-by-play voice of the Columbus Blue Jackets, joins us right now on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System fan guest hotline. Bob, heck of a performance last night by the Jackets. Hat-trick Fantilli, and a big win against the Rangers.
Huge win against the Rangers. I mean, you go into Madison Square Garden. You're in the last playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. You win, you move into the first wild card spot. You lose, you're out of the playoffs and looking in from the outside. So to go in there and win, and to win like they did, I mean, they're up 3-1. They give up 2 shorthanded goals on the same power play. And at that point in time, they could have been dead, but they weren't. They rallied from that and came back and, scored the next 4 goals. It was pretty impressive, to be completely honest with you, to win in that building and to win so convincingly in the situation that they were in, playoff-wise going into it. It was really impressive.
So how big was it? Obviously, you get the bread man having the goal at the end of the first to tie it up, the equalizer there, and it's just devastating. 30 seconds left in the first period. Fantilli throws a couple more in. They get the shorties, tie it up, but then to get the goal right at the end of the second. And I was listening to your call, Bob. I'm driving back and trying to stave off the last minute and a half. I believe Tarasov had a great save in there as well, as they got a little sloppy with it. But how big was it to take that 5-3 lead into the third?
No, it was really big. It was really big because, you don't want the Rangers to capture any momentum at the end of the period like they did in the first, as you said. I mean, that was Panarin was so far off the net. I mean, that goal doesn't look like it's going in. As a matter of fact, I talked with Zach Werenski right as he came off after that period. And, I said to him, I go, you've seen that goal a million times. You used to love it, and now you hate it. And he said, I should have taken his stick because Zach was there. He said he was so far off the net, I thought there was no chance he could do that, and then he did it. So, that kind of zapped the momentum right at the end of the first period, and they didn't need to give any momentum back in the second period. They had him. They had him back on the ropes after the 2 shorthanded goals. They get him back on the ropes, and they needed to keep them there. So, that was huge. Tarasov is, he hasn't played a lot this year, and, there's a reason. There's a couple of reasons for that. He struggled at times, and Elvis has just been really good as of late, so it's hard to get any time. But, man, that's 2 games in a row that he's played at Madison Square Garden, and he's been terrific this year.
Bob McElligott joins us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline, talking Jackets right now. And, Bob, I want to make sure I ask this question correctly. No disrespect meant, but there are times when you've called games this time of the season for the Jackets when they've been well out of contention. And there's times like this year where every game means so much. What is that like for you as an announcer, the difference between the two situations?
Well, it is. This is great, obviously. I mean, because you care and you're around the guys all the time, and you want them to succeed, and you want your team to win. And the great part about doing what I do is, I am all in with the Blue Jackets. I'm not. Ask Bobby if you listened last night. I'm not a middle of the road guy, right? I'm a one-sided guy, and I was furious when they gave up the 2 shorthanded goals. As I described it, they had Madison Square Garden where it was quiet as a church, and it went from a church to a nightclub after those 2 goals because all the energy was back. But it's just so much fun. And you're right, Tito. I mean, there's been these last couple of years have been so bad when it's come to that. Even when you win a game like this, it's fun, but when it's over, it's just it's a fun game. Are you going to build on it? And even if you do, where are you going? If you build because you've been out of the playoffs since Thanksgiving. So this is really, really fun because just the energy and the feel, and it's fun to be around the players. I mean, these guys totally get what they're trying to do and the excitement of it and the importance of it, and it just makes it fun to go to work every day knowing your team has a chance to win.
Fantilli with a hat trick. Obviously it's early on, and you get some developmental issues or stagnated growth when you have injuries and things like that. But is this what they had hoped when they drafted him?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, they hope for more, and they're going to get a lot more from this kid. But yes, it is. He's playing as the top line center right now, and he's producing. He becomes the 5th player on this team to hit the 20-goal mark this season. I believe he's now the youngest guy in franchise history to get 2 hat tricks in the same season. I know Cam Atkinson had 2 hat tricks in the same year before. So he's turning into be a pretty special player, Bobby. And if you look back at the beginning of the season, he was playing on the 3rd line. He wasn't scoring goals, and I'm sure it was very frustrating for him, but the things that he learned and the way that he has developed, and I don't even know if he saw the development that he was going through back at that time, but man, he makes really good defensive plays too, which you have to. When you're playing that role as a number 1 centerman, you're going to get matched up against the best players on the other side, and you have to be ready to play both offensively and defensively. But this is what they hope to get. And I'll tell you something, his 2 line mates last night, Dmitry Voronkov really picked up his game. He made some big plays to set up Adam on 2 of the goals, and Kirill Marchenko slid him the most beautiful pass to set him up for the hat trick goal. That whole line, they were great last night.
Bob, there are many ways the trade deadline could have gone for the Jackets, as far as they could have gone all in and traded some future assets. They could have been completely stand pat, a lot of different things there. But I feel like it showed a lot of confidence in the roster with the lack of major moves they made. Did you get the sense, you're around the team all the time, do you get the sense that the players, the roster feels a bit of a sense of relief that they're allowed to keep going forward with what they have?
Yeah, I don't think it's relief, to be honest with you. I think it's appreciation. They appreciate the fact that, Don Waddell, the GM here, communicated with them. And I talked with Boone Jenner about that before the game last night. I talked with Don after 3 o'clock on Friday, after the trade deadline had passed. And he did communicate. And the players were telling him, we like what we have here. We've got this. He felt he needed to add just a little bit, so he did. He claims Christian Fisher off waivers from Detroit. He's a big forward. He's a depth guy now. Luke Cunnin, he gets in a trade with San Jose. Luke played his first game as a Blue Jacket last night. What I love about it is that he knew well enough that if he was to take somebody away, it could be detrimental to what's happening here. He could have traded Ivan Provorov and probably got a first-round pick. I don't know where that pick would have fallen, in the order, because people get all enamored with first-round picks. But I'm going to tell you, after you get below number 15 in this league, it becomes a crapshoot whether or not that guy's ever going to develop into an NHL player. So I don't know where the pick would have fallen, but I'm sure he could have gotten that and maybe a little bit more for Ivan Provorov with the prices on trade deadline day and what teams are having to pay to add guys to their roster. But he didn't do it, and he told teams before Friday he wasn't going to do it because he knows that you take a guy like that out of this lineup, it could really upset the apple cart. And so there was good communication between the players and the GM. They worked hard. He appreciates the work that they've done. He's going to let them try to get it done with their group, and they wanted to get it done with their group. And they get a couple of pieces that, they can use as depth guys and try to, get a little bit more grit at the same time. So I love what they did, quite honestly. If he would have done nothing and got nobody, it wouldn't have shocked me because these guys work so hard for what they have. So I love the fact that the two sides appreciate one another.
Is this the best the chemistry's been in that locker room in the last couple of years?
Well, yeah, in the last couple of years. When you're asking that question, Bobby, I'm wondering if it's the best it's been since I've been here, and I've been here 16 years, and I think the answer is yes, to be honest with you. And it's funny because I knew this team was good. Last year I said this team should be challenging for the playoffs, even if they don't make it, and they didn't. They were just terrible at the end, and so I always knew the talent was better, but. When you lose Johnny Gaudreau and you lose your best player and you lose him in a tragedy before the season even starts, it's like, man, how do you overcome that? How do you overcome the loss of the person? How do you overcome the loss of the talent? And these guys, it's funny because everywhere we go now, people from other teams are saying to me, man, you guys are such a great story. And I just told Don LaGreca from the Rangers this last night, I said, it's funny when you're around every day, you just watch the guys and you see how they interact and you watch them play and you think you expect them to win, like I told you earlier. And all the other teams in the league are like, man, these guys are so special. What's going on here? So you have to step back to appreciate what you're really watching. But this team it probably is the tightest team that I've ever been around. And it's not fake. There's nothing fake about it. I mean, when they say they're playing for each other, they are. And I'll tell you something. There's going to be some tough decisions, and there's going to be some guys that aren't happy about what's going to happen here with those two new additions, because then you're going to get Sean Monahan back from his injury, and that's going to disrupt the forward lineup. You talked about Fantilli. He's playing in Monahan's spot right now. What happens when he comes back with that? Eric Branson is cleared to play and is skating, and practicing again. He just has to get back up to speed. He's going to come in. What's that going to do to the defense? There are some guys that are going to be losing some ice time, and they're going to, take it on the chin personally, and they've got to, do it the right way and not disrupt everything else that's going on. And I talked to Boone about that yesterday too, and he said, listen, this has been a team first team all year long. Everybody's bought in. So, they have to be, based on where they are in the standings, what they're trying to do, and what they're going to go through when those players come back from injury.
Bob, we'll close out here. I'll say something to you as we get off the air here with you, but that's, I think, almost impossible. But enjoy New Jersey, I guess?
Hey, you got to understand. Right now we're in New York, okay?
Right.
We're going to move across the river today. There's a ferry that comes right back over here to New York.
Okay.
It's not that big a deal.
There you go. All right.
We'll be spending like zero time in New Jersey.
That's the best way. That's the best way to enjoy New Jersey. Thanks, Bob. We'll talk to you again next week.
All right, guys. Thanks.
That's Bob McElligott, play-by-play voice for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Coming next, the OSU football coaches were poked, prodded, and peppered with questions from the media on Friday. We've got the best of that sound next.
So much poking.
Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we're still watching crews clear out a crash on the ramp from 270 northbound to 70 eastbound. This is on the west side. Expect some lane closures as crews clear that up. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Enjoy rates as low as 9.90% APR with a Visa Platinum credit card from BMI FCU. The perfect low-rate card for your wallet. Apply today at bmifcu.org/visa.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text KING to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text KING to 42424. That's KING to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Getting the cold shoulder? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your furnace fast. Call 1-800-COOLING.
In-betweens are made for pizza. In between meals, meetings, thoughts, that's pizza time. Stop at Speedway and get 2 hot, delicious slices of pizza and a Mountain Dew 20-ounce for $5 with Speedy Rewards. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 4/29/25. See app for full terms.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Panic and passion. Is that a motivational quote or the title of an adult romance novel? You're listening to Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Thanks for tuning in with us here. Thank you so much to Bob McElligott for joining us. I tell you, Bobby, it is a much different vibe, I got to believe, as an announcer. And he kind of alluded to that when you're calling games of significance late in the season.
Yeah, it's way better. Gosh. Who wants to be calling games that don't matter?
I know. But you have to fabricate, though, the excitement. You obviously you're a pro. You've got to. You
go out there and do your job that off.
I know, but I'm saying that's a lot of fun for him, I'm sure.
You think it's fun for me to come in here with you?
I do actually. I think you get up earlier than you normally would for Beamer, and you come in here and you seem happy to be engaged.
I've got
a lot of smiles.
I've got a really sore calf because I got a calf cramp last night in the middle of the night, and this happens probably once every month and a half, 2 months.
Right.
And so now, I'm limping in here on a sore calf. Doesn't feel good. And I get to see your smiling face.
You know what? You're welcome. The Ohio State coaching staff was available for the media on Friday. Ryan Day was asked about why he selected Matt Patricia as defensive coordinator. Here was what the head coach said.
I felt like Matt was that guy for a lot of reasons. I think the first one is his experience. Coaching 19 years in the NFL. He's coached in 6 Super Bowls, has 3 Super Bowl rings. But also, pairing him with Tim Walton as a co-coordinator, pairing him with Larry Johnson, Matt Guerrieri, James Laurinaitis. That was important to have continuity. And so part of that was having somebody that was willing to work with the guys that were in the room. That was very important. And I just want to make sure that I, really praise the guys in that room. And, having Tim Walton as a co-coordinator there is a huge part of our defense.
Bobby, is there anything that gives you pause about Matt Patricia being named defensive coordinator?
No. The more watching him yesterday and listening to people that talked, and I popped in Friday afternoon and Dominic Cole were in here and like, gosh, he seems like such a nice guy. I'm like, he is a great guy. I go, the things that I heard in Detroit about him in Detroit, I'm not saying that they weren't true, but that may be a function of him trying to be a first-time head coach and trying to find his coaching style as a head coach. Like Matt Patricia, the guy that I knew in New England, was the guy that I have seen here. I've watched him interact with the players. I've seen him interact with Tim Walton. Tim, I know, is excited for him to be in here. They're excited to work together. I think there's good. Number one, like Ryan said, there's continuity on that defensive staff, which is big. But I don't think that there's any big egos in that room either, which is key. And you'll hear people talking about this, it's important to work together and this and that. You want a staff that gets along well. And they did last year. I mean, it doesn't mean there's not friction because people have different ideas from how they've done stuff before.
You want some friction, right?
You want guys challenging each other, but doing so in a respectful way. And you don't want things getting personal to where when you leave the room, guys are still angry about stuff that goes on. You get in there, you make decisions, and when everybody walks out, you're all on the same page. And this is how we're going to do it. And everybody buys into that, whether or not it was the way you wanted to do it or not. That's called being part of a team. That's called being part of a staff.
So you saw him live. You saw him in person, right?
Who?
Patricia, recently?
Yeah, he's been over there every day.
Okay, I know. I'm saying, but you saw him. Did he lose weight or lose beard?
Both.
But he has lost weight, so I'm not wrong when I see pictures of him. It looks like he's a lot thinner than when I saw him on the sidelines in Detroit.
So when I was there, he had just blown his Achilles when I was there in New England. I think he blew the other one a couple of years later.
Yeah.
And so, then I think when you can't move, obviously, if you know how the weight gain goes, I mean, it's the death spiral you get into. You start getting heavier, so you don't want to do as much, and then, you eat more because you're sitting around more, and then you want to do even less because you're heavier, and it's just kind of spiraling around. And so, Matt took some time, got healthy. He's got some younger kids.
Right.
And, he's excited to be here. And he's like, time, lost some weight, trimmed up the beard. And, both of those things are true.
Matt Patricia was talking about recruiting, and here's what he had to say.
Huge adjustment, absolutely. Recruited a long time ago. It was a while, and that landscape has completely changed. You know what? I love the recruiting process, though, and I'm in the deep end right now. I'm trying to swim and get caught up, as I dive in. But, building those relationships and, again, having conversations with parents, having conversations with, mom, dad, potential player for us, student athlete, telling them what and how we can help develop and grow, their son. That's really important.
You think he's more than 1 year here?
Well, he's moving his family here. He's looking to buy a house.
I understand that.
I can't tell you yes or no. If someone offers him a head job tomorrow, somewhere else.
Or a DC job in the NFL?
Or to be the highest paid defensive coordinator in the NFL, a la Chip Kelly. People talk about Chip, I was never going to be here. Surprised he bailed on Ryan. I'm like, the guy bought a house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And he lived there for about 6 months. I don't think that he was intending on leaving.
Right.
I think leaving was a product of the opportunity that was given to him. So you can never just say, never say never. We don't know what the opportunities are going to present it to you are. And there's a lot of things in life that you maybe, the doors you thought were closed or things you thought would never happen, which after a couple of years or a year or who knows what, some things reopen. I think Matt Patricia is coming here not as like a 1 year stopover.
Right.
Because I believe his family is moving here. And so, that's a big piece of it. He's got, I think, 3 boys, if I'm not mistaken, or 2 boys and a daughter. And so they're all going to come here, to my knowledge, looking at places, trying to figure out where to live, what to do. And so, if he's offered to be the defensive coordinator of X team or a head coach or something, and they're going to pay him a lot of money, okay. But I think he's coming here thinking Ryan's going to be here for a while.
Sure.
And I'm going to have great players. I'm going to like the staff that I'm around him with. I think Tim Walton being the co-coordinator, just in my conversations with Tim, and he's a guy who I played for in Detroit, have known for 10 years plus now. I don't think he's interested in leaving unless he's given an unbelievable opportunity. So you have people that you enjoy working with in a place that has a lot of talent, a place that's pretty easy to live with a head coach who's going to let you do what you want as long as you're having success. That doesn't mean he's going to give you free reign, but heck, go be the head coach of the defense. It's like there's a lot of things. I can't tell someone what they value, but if those are things that I value, and I think Matt Patricia's been in the game long enough. He's 50 years old. He's won 3 Super Bowls. You love to win one as a head coach, not just a coordinator. But I think he's content to say, hey, I'm going to be selective in opportunities that come up, not just taking anything.
I feel like I don't think he'll be a head coach again in the NFL. I think he could be a high-end, highly paid defensive coordinator in the NFL, especially if he has success here at Ohio State this year. And that's what I wonder about. I wonder if he'll have the Chip Kelly kind of thing where he comes here for a year and does outstanding things. Ohio State has a bunch of success, and the NFL comes back in and tries to dip into it and try to take him. I could see that happening. And it wouldn't. And that's not a negative. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a negative at all, because I think that when you hire people to hire people in positions, you want them to be better and get a better job somewhere else. That's what you want. And that's what happened with Chip Kelly. That's what happened with Fry going to the OL, to the Arizona Cardinals. Look, Knowles is a lateral move in my opinion, but he's making a lot more money. But I think that is the goal of Ryan Day.
Right, show me you love me. Well, tell me you love me. Show me my paycheck.
Right.
So there's an element of that. I don't think that he came here with the intention of leaving quickly, though.
Do you think Chip did?
No, I don't.
I don't think he did. That's what I'm saying. I think it's very similar. Yeah.
$6 million to go be the offensive coordinator
Highest
for the Raiders.
paid coordinator in the NFL.
He's got his place still out in California.
Right.
I think there's a mutual respect there with Pete Carroll. Like, and none of it's all just money. Some of it's situation as well.
Sure.
And plus, Chip's 61. He had to start looking like, when would be the next time I'd be able to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, not quite.
Well, no, but it's shark range. Sharkish.
You know, it's sharkish. I like that. But, you know, Matt Patricia's 50. He's coached a lot, and he got some big jobs when he was really young.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that he wouldn't be looking and the opportunities wouldn't present themselves, but also, you know, there's the ability to have some stability with your kids and where they're going to school. And that's what my always thing was with Ryan. People, when he first got the job, is he looking to go to the NFL, this and that. I'll never tell you what people value, but I'll listen to how they talk and talk about things that seem important to them.
Okay.
And I know that Ryan, I think they'd lived in 4 houses in 5 years or something prior to being here. So he had, you know, kids that were in an age where, like, as a coach, if you can have your family grow up in the same spot and it's good for your career as well, like all of those things align. Like, sometimes you start looking around like, this was not maybe the goal that I envisioned, but it became a goal that kind of grew over time, and this is something that's good. And so, like, those are things that, you know, you hear people talk about, and there's more things to it than just, can I have the best job in the world, or what's the most coveted job that I could have, or an NFL head job, or whatever it might be. So you have to try to balance all those things, and it's not just money. It's situation. It's family. There's all. And
it's a moving target.
It's a moving target, and there's a lot of ingredients that go into it.
All right, coming up next, we'll let you know, guys. Juice, Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we're still watching crews clear out a crash on the ramp from 270 northbound to 70 eastbound. This is on the west side. Expect some lane closures as crews clear that up. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Guys, let's talk about something real. Ever had a bad experience in the bedroom that totally threw you off? It messes with your head, your confidence, and suddenly it's all you can think about. Next thing you know, you're avoiding trying altogether because the fear of failure is just too much. That's where Columbus Men's Clinic comes in. For over a decade, their medical providers have been helping men overcome ED and providing hope even when the pills and other treatments have failed. Their proven personalized treatments have some of the highest success rates out there, with results that bring back your confidence and connection. It's important to get your ED treated now so that it doesn't get harder to treat down the road. Columbus Men's Clinic has treatments that online pharmacies only dream about. Tonight is your night for intimacy and connection. Call Columbus Men's Clinic today at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Your consultation is discreet and could be the start of something incredible. 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. And let's make tonight unforgettable. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash, or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HindererMotorCompany.com.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Do you realize minimize making the minimum monthly payments on your credit cards? It'll take nearly 20 years to pay them off. What if I told you there's a way for you to get them all paid off in just a matter of weeks? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Imagine wiping out all of your credit cards. Here's where you go. AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com. Advantage First Lending is the easy button for tapping in to hundreds of thousands of dollars in your home equity. That's not the bank money. It's your money. Listen, your home, the value is way up. And now AFLcash.com has a super fast, hassle-free program that lets you turn that equity into cash. People do this are living their best life, their credit card debt free, with cash left over for other stuff like home improvements, maybe a vacation. See how much money you can get now. Go to AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. That's 844-394-CASH. Say goodbye to greedy credit card companies. That's AFLcash.com.
Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Fish has been named the third best sports program director in the country. The two dudes who finished ahead of him are dead. So we're declaring him the winner. You're listening to the home of champions, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution specialists.
Beam has a baby face. Bobby has soft hands. That should not stop you from listening to this show. This is Morning Juice.
All right, Morning Juice. Tito, Bobby, and Shark with you. And now we're going to tell you what's got us juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Today's Monday, Bobby. I know what that means. You go first.
Good job. I appreciate that.
Show prep.
That's good. It's good. It's a good deal for you right there, being able to get that done.
Mm-hmm.
What's got me juiced? Well, yesterday, my daughter, she had her scrimmage for lacrosse, like first one ever. They do a little scrimmage with Jones and Hastings. So getting that back in the swing, if you will. And that's the first like official spring sport activity that we've had, even though it's just a scrimmage. So we were right in the swing of everything while that was going on. The Upper Arlington Golden Bears hockey team defeated won the state championship.
Well, St. X, right? Or St. Xavier. St. Ignatius.
St. Ignatius. Won beat St. Ignatius, I believe, 5-0. 5-2. It was 5-0 at one point.
5-2.
I guess they gave up 2 at the end. So congratulations to them on getting that done and taking care of it here and keeping everything in Central Ohio. So that's got me juiced as well. That was going on during my daughter's game as well. Caleb and Artie, they had their last basketball game of the year. They don't really put score on the scoreboard, but I think they know they won. The kids do a great job of keeping score, even though they don't put it up on the board. So that all had me juiced in a big way. It was the lightest sports weekend we've had in a while, and one that I've been back for. So that was great. So I got to watch 2 movies. That I've got this list of things, of shows/movies that Shark and Beam have put together. So I was able to watch Iron Claw and Interstellar. Neither one of them were incredibly uplifting, although Interstellar does have a little bit more joy at the end than Iron Claw. We'll talk a little bit about that after this as well. And then I got this little nugget from Jeff Daniels, I believe, about parenting and about conversations.
Time you spend in the car driving 2 hours to the rink for that 8 a.m. game and the time you spend driving back, that's why you do it. And you talk to them about anything other than hockey. If they want to talk about the game, okay. But it was never about, you got to get that slap shot working, because if you want to be at a D1 school, and I know you're only 10, but you've got to start getting to work. We were never that. And I think that our time spent with the kids in those car rides, not talking about hockey, paved the way for the closeness we have as a family in their 20s and 30s.
It's very interesting because, I remember traveling to, AAU basketball games and stuff like that. My dad drove me there, and those were some of the best conversations we ever had, or heck, just even driving to school for 10 minutes every day my freshman year. And so I try to do that with my kids, have the good conversations in the car. Some are about sports, some are about more than that, some bigger things in life. I was dropping RJ off this morning. And some days there's no talking at all. Mondays there's probably a little less talking than on Fridays. But just having those moments to communicate, and it used to be in the car there was nowhere to go, so you had to talk that off. Now you have your phone.
Sure.
So I try to get phones down. Let's have some real human interaction as we're moving forward. And so all that's got me juiced here today, coming off of a nice weekend. And Ohio State's on spring break. Arlington's got theirs next week. And so we've got some stuff here going at the end of the week where I'm excited for. 1 day down, 2 days to go. Shark, what shall I got to say?
If I had a burnt tongue, how would I be able to, just taste this beautiful, delicious monster that's orange today? So good.
I've never had a monster in my life.
I haven't either.
Neither. I've maybe had
Slade's gave you one. Slade's gave you one on the golf course.
I'll tell you this. I've never drank a whole monster. I've maybe drank parts of them. I've never drank more than probably 6 or 7 ounces one.
If you put vodka in it, you probably drink the whole thing in about 3 seconds.
Well, the thing is, though, it would still be, I want more vodka than Monster in there, so that it would still take me 4 or 5 drinks, because those Monsters are like 16 ounces.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't realize they were that big.
Yeah, that's what she said.
This is
called a Monster Shark for a reason.
This is what has me juiced.
It's taken away by the Blue Jackets. Fantilli brings it up ice. 2-on-1 with Verokov, and Fantilli shoots, and he scores! Fantilli! Fantastic! A goal by Adam Fantilli, by the way, his 19th of the year. When he gets his 20th, he'll be the 5th Blue Jacket to get it, and there he gets it! Fantilli's the Blue Jackets jammed it down low. He slid out toward the front of the net. The puck comes off the end boards, and there he was. Bang! Number 20. Flips it back to Marchenko, puts it to Fantilli. There it is! He scores! A tip of the cap to Adam Fantilli. He gets the hat trick.
So, I love numbers. I love sports trivia. Some good numbers for you here. Fantilli, of course, had that hat trick last night at MSG. He had one earlier this year in Toronto. He's 20 years old, 148 days. He became the first player to record multiple hat tricks in a season at age 20 or younger, since Patrick Laine did it 3 times in the 2018-19 season with Winnipeg. Fantilli scored his first 2 goals last night in a span of 26 seconds. That marks the second fastest 2 goals by one player in franchise history. On December 19th, 2023, Kirill Marchenko set the club mark, getting 2 goals in a span of 18 seconds. Fantilli, also the 5th player in CBJ history to record 2 hat tricks in a season, the first since Cam Atkinson, who had 2 hatties in the 2018-19 season. Now we move on to Zach Werenski. He established 2 franchise records last night, had 2 assists. First one gave him .259 for his Columbus career, and that moves him past Rick Nash for most in Jackets history. And it was his 47th assist of the season. That sets a new franchise record for most assists in a season by a defenseman. The old record was held by Zach Werenski.
Zach, he had to bring it himself. Look at him.
Last season, he had 46 assists. And one more thing about Z. He is the 3rd active defenseman to lead a franchise in all-time assists. Dude is having an unbelievable career.
It's amazing Jonesy wasn't in there.
Yeah, I know.
Has he passed Nash as the best Jacket ever?
Not yet.
You don't think so?
Nope, not
Bobby?
yet.
No, he's got a little more.
I don't know. He's pretty damn close.
He's good. Oh, he's been great.
He's past Jody Shelley, though.
He has passed Jody Shelley, and he's definitely passed.
Jody's probably laughing at that if he heard that right now.
I hope so.
And Jared Bowl. He's passed Jared Bowl as well, right? There we go. So, by the way, this whole talk about, you kept saying Interstellar. It's like the third time you mentioned it today on the show. And I keep thinking Inner Space with Martin Short and Dennis Quaid. And,
Spaceballs?
No.
Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan and that one, too. Inner Space, much different than Interstellar. You said Interstellar was kind of a downer. I thought, no, wait, Inner Space, in my mind, because Inner Space is a much different movie, by the way, Bobby.
What's the most recent movie you've seen? Kids'
They're
movies
both,
don't count.
Based on true stories, though.
Interstellar?
Yeah.
Of course it is. Yeah, Inner Space. Yeah, injected into someone's body. Most recent movie I saw, probably Gladiator 2.
Okay,
before that. Gladiator 1. Which would have been the other one I saw.
Gone with the Wind.
Overrated. Honestly, go with the overrated. Anyway, what's got me juiced is the Steelers going out and getting DK Metcalf. Still not a quarterback there on the team. There is talk that NBC Sports has reported the Steelers are considering Aaron Rodgers. Justin Fields is testing free agency. The Jets are supposedly really interested in him. We'll see what happens there. But I would love to see Justin Fields back with Pittsburgh and have someone like DK Metcalf to throw to. We'll see if that happens. That's got me juiced, though, thinking about the upcoming NFL season, even though we haven't even had a draft or free agency really get going yet. But nonetheless, I'm excited about that. The Steelers getting DK Metcalf for just a second-round pick and then a swap of picks in like the 6th and 7th rounds, whatever that was. So coming up next, though, after Sharks Update, Eddie saved the weekend. That's next in the Re-Rack. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We are still watching heavy delays coming in from the west side on I-70. There's a crash right at that 670-70 split that has eastbound traffic very slow moving. Also slow moving out in Dublin. We've got a crash on 33 westbound. The right lane blocked just past that 270-33 split, and traffic delayed onto 270 as well. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. The one you love is the light of your life. And if you're like most of us, you want to do whatever you can to nurture your relationship. But if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction, you know the impacts the condition is likely having on you and your partner. ED is a relationship destroyer. It can contribute to depression, distancing, conflicts, and even breakups and divorce. And what's so disturbing about this is that most men who suffer with ED can be successfully treated, but a lot of guys don't seek treatment when they should. At Tri-State Men's Health, we have protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases. In fact, if you're like most guys, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and maybe find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. So call Tri-State Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Thanks. I gotta warn you, I drive a hard bargain. Okay. So let's hear your first offer. Well, how about, with any 4-tire purchase, we'll give you a free alignment. Man, I'm good. All right, let's do it before you change your mind. And we'll also give you a free oil change. Ha! I can't believe I talked you into this deal. Sometimes I amaze even myself. Don't tell a Caltech. But with any 4-tire purchase at Tire Discounters, you get a free alignment and a free full synthetic oil change. See store for details.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
When you buy from Pella, you could meet Brad, Bob, maybe Mike, or 54 others that make our local Pella team so awesome.
And if you buy from me, you'll get to meet me.
Just a one-man operation, Wilson?
I've got a bunch of cousins helping me, but based on their work, I'm not sure they've got thumbs.
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at GermainToyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
What does living your best nonstop life mean to you? Cheering on your team at that big game? A music festival with friends? A family vacation? Or maybe a vacation from your family? Live your best nonstop life with low fares and nonstop flights only at Allegiant.com.
Non-stop flights from Columbus to Fort Lauderdale, one way for as low as $44. Must be purchased by 4/24/2025 for travel between 3/13/2025 and 8/17/2025. Seats and dates are limited. Restrictions apply. See Allegiant.com for details.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You know, as much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, the bruiseless avocado.
Ooh.
The unlosable TV remote.
Could change the world.
And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get Eco.
Until you crack it, Jerry. You know our 93 or free drain clearing offer is the next best thing.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Get Eco.
Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get Eco.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote?
I think that's impossible even for us.
Get Eco.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. Adam Fantilli's hat trick helped the Blue Jackets snap a 2-game losing streak with a 7-3 win over the Rangers at Madison Square Garden. Matthew Olivier, Dante Fabro, Ken Johnson, and Justin Danforth also scored goals for Columbus. The Ohio State men's hockey team beat Wisconsin 3-2 at Nationwide Arena to win that Big Ten tournament quarterfinal series 2-1. The Buckeyes advanced to the semifinals and will host Penn State Saturday night in a single game at Value City Arena. Eddie George won a Heisman Trophy in 1995 as a running back at Ohio State. Now he's returning to the Buckeye State as a coach. Bowling Green has hired George as head coach to replace Scott Loeffler, who left the Falcons after 6 seasons to become the Philadelphia Eagles quarterbacks coach. The Sports Center is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. It's great to have goals. It's even better to have experts to help you attain those goals. Experts in weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com.
A radio show hosted by 2 former football players, one slightly more successful than the other. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Yes, you are. Morning Juice. Tito, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark with you. The radio legend, Mark the Shark. Brandon Beam is back tomorrow, so if you've missed him, he will be back. By the way, it's a lot going on in sports right now, and we had a big day yesterday. Let's get you all caught up with the re-rack.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
By the way, Shark, yesterday, you probably didn't catch this because you don't support local shows. I'm on the money, though. Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas were talking. And there was talk about like the different packages you can do to watch baseball. You can buy, the Guardians have a package. You can pay like $99, right? Yep. Watch the entire season. And Biddle said, anybody, if you are somebody who can go out there and watch every single baseball game for a certain team, the entire 9 innings, every game, you've got way too much time on your hands, and I wish I had that much time. I'll automatically. You still watch every game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, start to finish.
Yeah.
All right. Just saying, I thought of you. He was almost, he was saying that that's way too much. Like, I don't think he realized that there's a guy here with a full-time job that does that. So
I watch all the Blue Jackets games. I watch all the Buckeyes games. I watch all the Cavaliers games. Those are my teams.
Good for you. That's the secret to a long and healthy marriage, by the way. In the re-rack, though, Cavs beat the Bucks 112-100 yesterday. Winning streak hits 13. Tomorrow they host the Brooklyn Nets, which should mean 14 straight wins, right? Is that tomorrow they play them?
They've already got 14.
Tito. 14. 15's the next one. You're right. 15's the next one.
And by the way,
yes,
only the second team in history to have a 14-game winning streak and to score at least 110 points in every one of those games. The other team, your 1985-86 Celtics.
Gun to your head, Cavs win the title or Celtics win the title, which would you go? If I had a gun to your head, so you got to pick one.
Celtics.
Of course. Yeah, me too. That's part's hard, though.
Cavs, because you just
gun to your head, Bob. Gun to your
gun to your head.
I don't tell, when I tell someone that I would never make a decision without that. Like that's
without a gun to your head.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna get the true honesty out of people.
That's why you have to answer that question with your head and not your heart.
Right. Because I still think it's Celtics too, and I don't think disrespectful to the Cavs.
You just think that because of past history would lead you to believe that.
I think that because, well, I guess yes-ish, because the Celtics have already done it. And I'm not sure the Cavs got a lot of young players have not been in that situation before. So I would take experience over talent now. It's close.
So you think I'm ahead of you then because of experience?
Experience. You are years, decades ahead of me, Shark. There, how about that? Jackets beat the Rangers 7-3. CBJ in New Jersey Tuesday to take on the Devils. They are now the top wild card holder again in the Eastern Conference. Ohio State men and women both had tough weekends. The men fell to 17-14 with a loss to the Hoosiers. They fell to the 10th seed in the Big Ten tournament. They'll take on number 15 seed Iowa Wednesday. And that coverage for us will start at 5 o'clock on Wednesday right here on the Fan. We're going to cut Man and Bone short by an hour. The winner of that game between Ohio State and Iowa takes on Illinois on Thursday. OSU lost to UCLA in the Big Ten semis on Saturday, 75-46. We now have to wait until Selection Sunday to see if they get a top 4 seed and a chance to host the first 2 rounds. I went into Fan Sports Sunday, going into it, Bobby, a little bit downtrodden because of those Ohio State basketball performances, but I was immediately lifted up by the news that Eddie George gets a 5-year deal to be the head coach at Bowling Green State University. BG gets Eddie George.
That uplifted you?
That did.
How did that uplift your life?
Because it was a positive moment. Ohio State sports had a bad weekend as far as basketball goes.
That's true.
And
so Eddie George and Bowling Green football?
Yes, Eddie George saved it for me. He is somebody I root for.
I'm trying to figure out how that works.
I mean, Bobby, you've known so many different people, athletes, media people, on and off the field, privately, socially, publicly, all these different people. And in my entire time, and I've got a much smaller circle than you do, I've never heard one negative word about Eddie George.
He's a great guy. So you probably won't hear any negative things about him. So he's done a great job down there at Tennessee State.
Yep.
And it was a matter of time before, if he wanted to move, he'd have the opportunity. You know, Murfreesboro is right out there outside of Nashville, so it was going to be interesting to see if he ever was going to leave that area.
Right.
And obviously it was curious to see what he would leave it for, coming back to the state of Ohio now, going to Bowling Green.
Right.
Utilizing and leveraging some of his Buckeye ties here. And it's a way for Bowling Green, if you look at it, to differentiate yourself from other MAC schools, in the region. You've got a guy who's charismatic, and while he isn't what you would define as like young in coaching, and young as a coach,
right.
He's young in his coaching career. He's got a ton of energy. He relates well to players. I think ideally, if you're Bowling Green, you're thinking, hey, he'll probably be here two, maybe 3 years, because that means he's done a heck of a job.
Sure, right. That's what you want to have, yeah.
And probably moving on to a bigger job at that point. Because if you're Eddie, you're 51, I think he's 51 years old, I believe. I don't think he's under 50.
I don't think he is either. I think he's 51.
You're basing that off of me just saying that? Or
no, I think I'm trying to... I'm putting,
he won the Heisman in 95, and that's 30 years ago.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's in that range,
He'll be
right?
52 in September.
Yeah.
So he's 51. And so at some point, you're looking, if you're going to get a job and then move, not that age becomes prohibitive in that, but, if you're there for 7 years and you're 58, getting big jobs at that point is a little bit more difficult, no matter how youthful you feel and youthful you look.
By the way, Shark, I don't know if you know this. Bobby Carpenter, new linebackers coach at Bowling Green State University.
I don't think that's the case.
I'm just saying. I called DeVere Posey yesterday to be the wide receivers coach.
Oh.
And I think Bobby will be the linebackers coach out there at Bowling Green.
You know, you were talking about Bobby and the wide circle of people that he's met. He's had dinner with Carrie Underwood.
Oh, I know that story. I didn't bring it up when we did the whole thing with the South.
He's had dinner with Carrie Underwood.
Wait. He and his wife had dinner with Carrie Underwood. Okay, I'm just saying. It's not the same. It's not the same thing.
They broke bread together.
I'm saying, but if you just say Bobby and Carrie Underwood had dinner, that sounds like an intimate date to me. If you say Bobby and his wife, you said Bobby had dinner with Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, I didn't say he dated her.
No, but I'm telling you, that's the connotation. That's what happens, Shark, when you say that.
I don't think that connotation was alluded to by Shark.
It felt like that to me.
The better thing is that they had dinner with one of my high school buddies and his wife as well. And that's the ultimate.
They did?
Yeah, because
I thought you want a double date, right?
I thought you heard the story.
No, I heard that Carrie Underwood, when Romo brings Carrie Underwood, I want you to meet somebody I'm dating, and then you and Courtney.
I told him we couldn't do it because I said my friend's in town.
Oh, I didn't know that. So your friend was there also.
I said my friend's in town. So, by the way, Carrie Underwood, she's from Oklahoma, but a vegetarian.
Let's go to a steakhouse.
We went to a steakhouse. Tony went to.
Read the room, Tony.
I'm not sure if he knew that and didn't care, or he didn't know it. And I'm not sure.
It's a gangster move.
I'm not sure which is worse. So we go to a steakhouse. I mean, there's not a whole lot of vegetarian options there. So we go to a steakhouse, and by the way, it's so I'm telling him. Tony calls me and he's like, "Dude, I can't go. My buddy just got in town. I've got him as I don't know if they were married yet or not. I think they may be newly married. And they went. We all went to high school together, so it was all good." And he goes, "Well, just bring them." I'm like, "Hold on. You want me to bring? It's not weird enough that you're on your first date with Carrie. That was their first date, by the way.
Right.
That you're bringing your friend and his wife, but he's going to bring his friend and his wife. So now we're just extending the circle. So I had to call them.
And the wife is a huge fan of Carrie Underwood.
She kept it together. She did not reveal. She didn't go
fangirl, no?
Not until we got home that night. And my buddy would look at me and after he's like, "Dude, Amber's the biggest Carrie Underwood fan ever." I'm like, I would have never guessed. They did a great job having conversation and talking, and it was all fantastic. I mean, the only awkward part was everybody else ordered steak, and she ordered a thing of carrots,
water.
Thing of carrots and a salad or just something. I mean,
I'll take the T-bone steak, hold the T-bone.
It was ridiculous. So all that happened, and yes, I don't know, they dated for a little bit. And
your marriage is intact. The Carrie Underwood, Tony Romo relationship did not blossom in that way. Did your friend stay married?
They're still married, yeah.
They're still married.
He actually just sent me, he has two young boys, his two boys around my youngest boy's age.
Yep.
And he sent me some cards to sign, to get some of the current Buckeyes, or guys that are leaving, to have them sign them.
Sure.
I was like, dude, if you get them to me, they'll be back for pro day. I'll get a couple of these signed for you. And he goes, my kids think it's crazy that you hang out with these guys. I go, well, do your kids think it's crazy that I used to be one of those guys that used to hang out with me?
Yes.
I go, that's really the better part. Like time is relentless.
That is fantastic. A high school friend comes down to see you and then meets up with Romo and Carrie Underwood. That's outstanding. I love that story. I didn't know the high school. I knew you had dinner with them on the first date and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't know that you had a high school buddy too. Yeah, that's outstanding there. All right, coming up next, with the flurry of activity this week in the NFL, which team looking for a QB is the most attractive? Ooh, that's next. Morning Juice.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are still watching delays on 70 coming in from the west side. There's a crash at the 670-70 split that has eastbound traffic very slow moving on 70 and onto 670. Expect delays as you head out in that area. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Start 2025 with significant growth and earning potential at Uline. Interview for warehouse roles at Uline's March hiring event in Etna, Ohio. Earn reliable income starting from $25 an hour with a $2 night shift increase. And get full health and retirement benefits on day one. Don't wait. Start building a long-term career at a growing company. Sign up for your warehouse interview on Saturday, March 22nd in Etna at uline.jobs. That's uline.jobs.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get one line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Columbus Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Scott the Scots here. How did the grass feel when it woke up from winter? A little crabby. Get it? Crabgrass? Right now, there's a short window of time to apply Scott's Turf Builder Halt's Crabgrass Preventer. It stops crabgrass before it invades and feeds your lawn for a fast green up after winter.
Save up to $20 today at the Home Depot or Lowe's for Scott's Day-Long Saving Time. Offers valid March 6th through 19th. See store for full details and product selection.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And listeners, they're always asking me about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. Well, if you're wondering if you could be a good candidate, let's say the answer is yes to any of these questions. First, is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain, knees, hips, back, shoulders, other joints, trouble sleeping, walking, day-to-day movement? Next, do you want to avoid surgery? Because I did. I didn't want to deal with it. And all of the pain and the long recovery and the uncertain time that comes with it. Here's the best part. Most importantly, do you miss doing things you love because the joint pain is holding you back? Whether that's walking, jogging, hanging out with loved ones. If you answered yes to any of those, I'd bet you're a great candidate. So do not wait. Call QC Kinetics right now and ask for their free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can get you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. They're located in Dublin, Gahanna, or you can go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544.
At NJM Insurance, we like to think of ourselves as a symphony. We start with a foundation of doing the right thing. Then we layer in dedicated reps, whose priority is you. Add in excellent discount programs. And last, but certainly not least, we put our policyholders first. And the reason we don't use jingles or mascots is because it's just not us. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Remember all the time you spent with the family around the holidays? That crap is over. Put those feet up. March Madness is coming. From the first four to the final four. Catch all the action on The Fan and ESPN Columbus.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today we're looking at a lot of sunshine out there. Highs around 65. Tonight, clear, low 42. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 70. Partly cloudy on Wednesday with a high of 60. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV Weather Impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. Heading to work? Keep listening to the guys at the office.
Stream the show at 971thefan.com or download the Fan app.
This is Morning Juice.
Attention, Ohio sports fans. Are you ready to turn your passion into serious action? Prime Sportsbook Ohio is bringing you a massive welcome deposit match offer. Here's the deal. Deposit up to $400. That's right, $400. And Prime Sportsbook will match your deposit 100%. That's up to $400 in bonus bets. But wait, here's the best part. You can use your bonus bets anytime. They're valid for a whole year. 1 whole year, Bobby. Your bonus bets are valid.
Just place the wagers equal to your deposit and bonus amount before withdrawing. Don't miss out. This offer is for first-time deposits only, and they can expire at any time. So hurry and download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit primesportsbook.com to get started. For betting reduced juice, it's literally costs less to bet with Prime Sports Ohio. Want to bet? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today. Additional terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and older and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Please play responsibly.
Bob, according to ESPN, the Aaron Rodgers is an option right now for the Steelers at quarterback. They also still have interest in Fields and Wilson. And Justin Fields is testing the free agent market. The Jets suppose they have interest in him. I'm going to give you 6 teams. Giants, Titans, Seahawks, Steelers, Jets, Browns. Out of those 6.
Hold on. Giants, and you write this down. That's a lot.
Giants, that's a lot, I know.
Who we have?
Titans,
Seahawks,
Steelers, Jets, and Browns. Out of those 6, which is the most attractive option for a quarterback?
I would say...
I mean, if you're the Titan, you can sign a veteran and then draft Abdul Carter, whatever.
Quarterback?
For a quarterback. If you're a quarterback, a free agent quarterback.
Pittsburgh. They were the closest to the playoffs last year.
They don't have a quarterback. They don't have a running back really right now because Najee Harris, they're letting walk.
He would be the quarterback.
Yeah, I'm saying like the situation there, yes. I think the Steelers, though, you're going to without a running back.
Getting a new running back isn't hard.
It shouldn't be. You're right.
Like finding a way to get a running back and get that stuff taken care of isn't difficult. So that can be done.
Okay. I would agree with you. I think the Steelers are the most attractive option out of those 6.
I would say Pittsburgh. I'd say Browns probably number 2.
Browns 2, okay.
Maybe Seattle 3.
Okay.
Then after that, it doesn't really matter. I would say Jets maybe 4.
So you think the Giants or Titans are the worst options?
Oh, of course. They're the worst teams. Do you know who's picking number 1 right now?
No, I understand the Titans are. Yeah,
they are the worst team.
I don't think the Giants is that awful just because you have Malik Neighbors there already and you've got a top 3 pick.
Exactly. But what are they doing with that top 3 pick? How does it look? I mean, I'd have to go back. I didn't watch a ton of Giants this year just because they were so bad and it didn't really matter. But I have to look at like the offensive line situation and how that looks. You're in a tough division with Philadelphia and Washington.
Right,
They're
no doubt.
good.
Yes.
They're very talented teams. So you've got to deal with them. Dallas is not bad. So, like, you have 3 teams that are playoff caliber teams. One team is the Super Bowl champion.
The Giants have got Tyrone Tracy Jr., a running back last year. I believe he's a rookie. Led the team in rushing with 192 carries for 839 yards, scored 5 touchdowns. So they've got a young running back I think they can count on to be their guy going forward. And having Malik Neighbors also helps out. If you go out and draft, say, Travis Hunter, maybe that becomes more attractive than if they're going to put him on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, where are you going to put him? Where are you going to play him? Like, all those things matter. With different stuff. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where Aaron falls. Because I think once he falls, then you'll have a better idea of what that looks like. And I'm not a believer that Russell gets a job where he can be a starter again. I don't think that's going to be the case. But Aaron Rodgers being that next piece and I guess he's kind of met with some teams, talked to some teams.
Right.
I would say Seattle and Pittsburgh are probably 2 of the more teams that should be interested in him.
Sure.
And I think that there probably is some interest. Now, how much? Well, I'll have to make some calls and try to figure that out. But those would be the 2 most likely spots for him. But everyone else, like you start looking around, they could bring in a young guy, a veteran guy. Like, what are the Browns going to do? Like, they're going to bring a veteran. Who is that veteran?
Well, you've got Cousins, you got Darnold out there, you've got Rodgers. The Giants, by the way, have 1 quarterback on their roster right now signed, and that is your boy Tommy DeVito. He is the one they have on their roster. But if I'm Rodgers, the Steelers are the closest team among those 6 to being a contender.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle having traded away DK and releasing Tyler Lockett, a new regime in there. I don't know if I'm Rodgers, how attractive this. If I'm just interested in playing another season, then yeah, Seattle's an option. But if I want to play meaningful football, the best option there for Aaron Rodgers would be the Steelers. But if I'm the Steelers, if I have my choice between Rodgers and Fields, I'll take Fields. Now, cost matters. I understand that part. I'm not going to pay Fields the same amount I pay Rodgers.
I don't know if there's I don't think those two guys being on the same roster is mutually exclusive. So I think you could probably have both.
God, but I think Fields wants to go to a place where he's going to be the starter.
Sure.
And the Jets may offer him that.
And okay, so if there's a place that offers him that, but I don't know if anybody else is going to offer him an uncontested starting job. Now, granted, you probably have a better chance of beating out player X than Aaron Rodgers.
Sure.
But yeah, it's a good point. I don't know depending if you're Pittsburgh, do you think you have a team that can go contend and win now for next year or the year after? If the answer is no, then I don't think you don't go with a veteran guy. You would go with a younger guy.
Sure.
But if you feel like you have a team that's close, and listen, when was Pittsburgh's last playoff win?
Oh, it's been a long time. It's like what? It's been
a decade, I think.
Yeah, it's been more than a decade.
That's my point. Is like you may need to just go win a playoff game.
Right. But boy, I'd love to see what Fields could do.
I'm not against that. I think I don't know if he's ever going to be a top flight quarterback, but I think he can be a guy who can start and be good.
He can be top half, right?
Yeah, I think he can be a top half
half quarterback, yeah.
And top half guys can usually win you Super Bowls.
Yeah, if you have a great defense, and a solid run game, then yes, you don't have to be a top 5 guy to win a Super Bowl. You have to be a top half guy. But you mentioned Russell Wilson. I didn't think about it this way. I looked at those teams we just talked about, and I don't know any of those teams that they should be interested in Russell Wilson.
I wouldn't be. I've never been a fan. Never been a fan. Like, as of late, as Russell's gotten older, he doesn't move as well. He still has a strong arm, but he's never been a guy that's been a rhythm passer. He's been a runaround guy, makes plays, and he's as polarizing as Aaron is, Russell, there are guys that want to play with Aaron because they know what he can do.
Right.
Even if they think that there's, quote, baggage that comes on maybe some of the other end of it. Like, Russell can't play. And then you have to deal with the nonsense of his charades and everything else. And he's not an authentic guy. At least when you're around Aaron, you know what you're getting. You know, Russell pretends to be one thing, and he's so curated. It's like walking to a damn museum. Like, this is not real.
I could see
it's a wax museum in there.
I could see. I thought that Russell Wilson,
Shark's House of Blow-Up Dolls.
When the Raiders traded for Geno Smith, I thought that was one team that got crossed off the list that could have gone Russell Wilson at that point. I could see.
I don't think Pete was interested in.
You don't think so?
No.
The Giants and Titans, if they draft a quarterback early, maybe they'd have interest in Russell Wilson as a bridge guy, but I can't see the Seahawks, Steelers, or Browns having any interest in Russell Wilson. I can't see that at all.
I don't think so. Well, Seattle, you think he's going back to Seattle?
Well, I don't. I mean, Carroll. If the rift was with Carroll, then that's
I think
eliminated
Seattle
now.
knew what he was as well.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
I think there's no desire to bring him back.
But it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out and with the free agency thing now and how many, because like I said, the Steelers supposedly have interest in both Wilson and Fields and also Aaron Rodgers. And so they're a team where they're drafting a young quarterback is not likely an option for them. A young future, star quarterback is not likely an option where they're picking right now in the first round. So they are going to have to grab their quarterback from this veteran market. And, you're right. Fields, I don't think he'll be a top 10 quarterback. I think he'll be a top half quarterback, though. But having DK Metcalf there, and if you keep Pickens and, like you said, go out and grab a running back, it shouldn't be too hard to do. That would be a big plus for them as long as that defense keeps doing what it's doing. But I agree with you, Bobby. A playoff win is very important for the Steelers going forward on this one. The Titans, the Titans have so many holes. I think they should, if there's somebody willing to trade anything for that first pick overall and give them a package of picks, they've got to consider it.
I would say so, but who's going to trade for it?
Well, that's why the Giants might want to jump up and get the number one pick.
And take who? Cam Ward? You're going to give up all that for Cam Ward?
It depends what all that is. Going down to 3 wouldn't necessarily hurt the Titans that much. But
it depends on what you want. Like, if you want another first-round pick to move up that far, I'm not giving it to you.
Not for 3-1, no.
Not in this year's draft.
No, not in this year's draft.
There's times that would be worthy, but I'm not a big believer in Cam Ward. I think Shedeur can be better than him. I think he might end up being the better pro.
Higher ceiling, lower floor, right?
But I don't love any of these guys.
No, me either. Nope, me either. All right, coming up next, Joshua Perry's going to join us. We will talk to him for our weekly Monday chat. It's Joshua Perry's favorite day of the week. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Monday. We are still watching delays on 70 eastbound coming in from the west side. We've got a crash at that 76-70 split that has traffic slow moving as you make your way into the Grandview Heights area. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads, race car bobbleheads, little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage as a service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nada Yada Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bombshells arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Oh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
Plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any Metro Flex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Keep on swiping that card, baby. Keep on swiping that card. Charge it to winning. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Let's head out to the Brian Heating Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. Joshua Perry joins us right now. Joshua, appreciate the time this morning, my friend, and curious your thoughts on the Bowling Green hiring of Eddie George.
Appreciate you guys having me. I was super excited when I saw that. Eddie George and I have actually gotten to know each other over the last, probably 6 months or so. He's a weekly guest on our college football show I was doing in Chicago, and we would spend a lot of time offline talking about his team and his philosophy, how he coaches the guys, things that he likes, things that he wants to change. And there's a lot of respect there for his football mind and the direction that he was trying to take Tennessee State. And if you saw the way that they ended this past year, got a share of their conference title for the first time since the 90s. I was in... basically I was a toddler at the time living in North Carolina last time they did that. 2013 was the last time that Tennessee State had made it to the FCS playoffs. And so for Eddie to get them back to that point, it was a really big deal. His offseason comes around. He was in the mix for the Bears job, and it was certainly, from talking to him, beneficial for him from the experience standpoint. I think the Bears were trying to satisfy some Rooney Rule obligations, but obviously that indicates the level of respect that people have for his ability to build an organization, to set culture, and what he does in terms of his mind for football and philosophy there. All that to say, I'm really excited about this. To have him back in the state of Ohio, I think, is huge. I think it's going to be big for recruiting. Bowling Green is a place that you can have success in the MAC, so I think he's in a good spot there. But he's also a really, really good ball coach. And so for him to get this opportunity to take the next step in his career is awesome.
It is pretty great. And he's one of these other former players, Joshua, who may not have the most accomplished resume as a coach, just given the fact that, he did media after he got done playing, and you kind of dove in there, obviously, at Tennessee State. You look like Dan Campbell and a number of other guys who have kind of done this. Are you surprised to kind of see this now, this movement where former players are getting in and getting elevated maybe a little quicker than what they had 20 years ago?
No, and especially with a guy like Eddie George, being a head coach where you hire the coordinators, right? Like, you have the philosophy. I'm talking about this. He's like, I want to run duo all damn day. Like, he's a run the ball kind of guy. He wants to be physical in the trenches, but you find the coordinator that can get that done and that can go and teach the other coaches on staff and can teach the players that kind of stuff. Defensively, he can do the same thing. But he knows how to speak the language to the players. He knows how to build the culture. And then thinking from the college football standpoint, separately from the NFL even, is this day and age, you got to be a great communicator. You mentioned that he was in media. The guy was also on Broadway, so he's not afraid to get out of his comfort zone there. You got to do the fundraising thing, and I think he might even understand the financials better than some other football coaches. Went to Northwestern, did his master's there. He's run businesses before. So everything that he's done in his background sets up for this new age of college football and being a head coach where, yes, part of it is how much do you know about the game, but you got the coordinators there. The head coach spends less time around football now than ever before. Can you do all of the other things in terms of building the program, building the culture, getting with the boosters, doing the fundraising, getting people excited by being somebody who can communicate well to the fan base? He's got all the bases covered there.
Former Buckeye linebacker Joshua Perry, also with NBC, joins us right now on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System fan guest hotline. I'm interested to see, Joshua, because for years and years, decades, I guess I should say, college football has been minor league football for the NFL. And now that we have gotten to the point where there's this a huge differentiation, even bigger before, between the Power Four and then the rest of college football, a lot of the rest of college football becomes minor leagues for the Power Four. If you do really well at a MAC school, there's going to be a Power Four school that wants to come after you. And I'm interested to see how this will play out, if there will be a pipeline of outstanding Bowling Green players that end up finding their way to Ohio State maybe as a transfer.
Yeah, it's one of the more interesting things, right? This is one of the things I actually talked to Eddie about just in terms of his roster philosophy at Tennessee State. But I think folks fully realize that where, if you're FCS, you've got players who are standouts. Your guys are getting poached 100% of the way. I mean, even in the Big Ten, a place like Minnesota, PJ Fleck has done a phenomenal job of developing guys. He's not necessarily recruiting the top of the top, but when his guys perform, what happens? People poach them. He has dealt with transfers out of his program at a very high rate every year. I mean, Ohio State got one. Oregon has had some of PJ Fleck's players. This is what happens is somebody else might do the work in identifying and developing a guy who is underrated coming out of high school. And when you're at the very tip top of the food chain, you get to benefit from it because you can have the end product. You can have a guy who's had a couple years developing as a college player and getting them. So I do think you are really seeing this kind of pecking order where if there's a guy who's in a lower level of college football that's a standout player, he wants to elevate, obviously, and the top tier programs can go out and get whoever they want.
So Ohio State's on spring break this week. They start spring ball next Monday, St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, first day of practice. Some of these guys now, Joshua, due to NIL, they've got a little coin in their pocket, taking some nice exotic vacations. If Joshua Perry had some NIL coin back in the day, where are we going on a vacation for spring break?
I don't even know where I would even start with that. I never took a spring break trip when I was in college. I didn't do it in high school. I was a track and field athlete, so I was always out there trying to tear up the track. But I would stay in town and, go stay at my parents' house and drive down to the Woody, work out, and come back. So you're asking the wrong guy completely. If I had a little money in my pocket at that point in life, I wouldn't even know where to spend it. I wouldn't know the right places to go to spend the money properly. And, these guys, a little bit of a different age, social media makes it very easy. It can suggest all the right places to you. But it's one of the interesting things about the young guys having money is you don't have the life experience to really know how to spend it. Like, Bobby, you've been through it. You know how to spend it, right? When I was 20 years old, could have had all the money in the world, still wouldn't have known how to spend it.
So what's ironic about that is I was in the cold tub with some of the guys. We get the little conversations going, and someone's like, what are your favorite vacation spots? I'm like, well, is this for myself, and my wife? Guys trip, family trip? No, adult trip. I'm like, of course. Because you said, I never even thought about that because it wasn't until I got to the league where you start to learn. Guys hey, you should go here, go try this, go do that. I mean, you have the money, but you don't necessarily have the experience like you said, Joshua, to be able to understand like where to go. So I was giving him the little catalog, because these guys aren't going to Panama City. They're going to Eleuthera and to Harbor Island and to these exotic places that I didn't even know about when I was their age.
Yeah, that's the issue, right? Like if you ask me now, I'm a big fan of like Riviera Maya.
Yeah.
Go there all day. I know a couple great spots. Like I'm not exactly sure I would have ventured out there as a college kid. Take me to St. Bart's, right? Like that is one of my favorite places on planet Earth. College kid, like say who? Saying what? St. Patrick's Day? That's when we got to start practice. And so, like I said, that's the one missing link right now. I'm happy for them because they.
Oh, he's happy for him, and then Shark
he hung up on us.
Apparently, he's not that happy for it.
Shark beasted him off the phone.
Wow.
Do you want me to call him back?
Call him and tell him we're sorry.
All right.
By the way, I didn't get to tell Joshua this. Joshua and I, Bob, you played all humble about it. That's cool. I like that you did that. Joshua and I, we would go to Mansfield for spring break. You had NFL dad money. You went to exotic places. I know.
Let me tell you a little secret.
I know that.
We didn't. Our vacation, we drove to New Jersey twice to stay with our neighbors there. I went to Tucson, Arizona once to see my uncle. Other than that, like getting on an airplane, that was reserved for my life after college. My dad used to tell us, quote, "Your life is a vacation."
You were surfing with Earl Campbell. We got Joshua back. Joshua, you back, buddy?
I don't know what happened, guys. I'm back, though.
That's okay. That's a gangster move, by the way, doing that. Just hanging up in the middle of the interview and making us think that we're not big time for you. Joshua, yeah, but we were just telling Bobby that he had NFL dad money, so he went to exotic places. You and I were stuck going to Mansfield. Bobby's trying to refute that.
Yeah, that's exactly. Bobby taking the tractor from Lancaster down to the Bahamas for spring break.
That's exactly what it was. Joshua, we appreciate the time, buddy. Thanks so much. We'll talk again next week.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, that was Joshua Perry. Monday's his favorite day, and he's our favorite guest to have on Monday. No offense, Bill Bender or Bobby McElligott, I guess. I just offended people, Bobby. Coming next.
That's what you do.
That's what I do. I'm good at that. We'll reveal our fan poll next. Morning Juice on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. If you're coming in from the west side on I-70 eastbound, expect delays as there is a crash at that 7670 split that has traffic slow moving. Make it a great day. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Are you feeling tired, slower, or achier than you used to? You might think it's just age, but it could be low testosterone. At Columbus Men's Clinic, they've helped thousands of men who didn't realize their symptoms were caused by declining testosterone levels, a problem that's becoming a new norm in American men. Columbus Men's Clinic refuses to accept this new normal. They're committed to restoring testosterone to healthy levels so you can feel like yourself again, whether at home, in the gym, at work, or in the bedroom. For years, their medical provider has delivered testosterone therapy tailored to each man's needs. No one-size-fits-all solutions, just real science-backed results delivered by discreet local experts. Imagine more energy, sharper focus, and newfound confidence. A same-day testosterone check and consultation is just $99. Call 614-300-7400 or visit ColumbusMen'sClinic.com today. Your prime years aren't over. They're just waiting to be unleashed. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
If you're like most Americans, you've racked up tens of thousands in credit card debt. You're stuck with 20% interest fees, and even the monthly payments, well, they're hard to make. It's insane. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. The good news is that there is a way out. AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com. Advantage First Lending. They specialize in fast, easy access to the equity in your home. Most homeowners have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their home equity. That's your money. AFLcash.com can get it out for you with zero junk fees and zero hassle. You can pay off all those credit cards in just a matter of days. Pay off your car loans too. Cut your monthly expenses by $800 or even $900. I'm telling you, the relief you need, well, it's right there at your fingertips. AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. That's 844-394-CASH. Break out of the credit card debt prison with AFLcash.com.
Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us. us. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Baths are us. When dreams sunk in, baths are us.
Hi, welcome to IKEA.
Look at that selection of outdoor furniture.
Yeah, whatever your space or budget, you'll find a setup for outside.
How about an outdoor chaise lounge for my...
Get some sunside.
Yeah, and a table for my...
Come on over, I'm grilling side.
And outdoor lights for my...
Date night on the patio side.
Ooh, you're good.
I try. We've got what you need to create an outdoor oasis. Plus, delivery starts at $19 when you shop online or choose to pick up at your local store today.
Go to IKEA-USA.com for more details. Restrictions apply. Some products may require assembly.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's time to sign up for the Fan and 10 TV Bracket Challenge.
Sponsored by Mountain Dew, Ohio bottled, Buckeye Bold.
The most accurate bracket takes home 1,000 smackers. Reserve your spot now and compete against your favorite fan and 10 TV personalities. And compete against the ones you hate, too. Head to 971thefan.com for all the fun. Yay! March is fun. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
What's the going rate for a good babysitter? Also, Shark needs a raise. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Final segment of the program. Tito, Bobby, Shark with you. By the way, there's a lot going on in the Fan today. Austin Ward will join Bishop and Friends next from the Fan and the podcast. We got the Jake Diebel Show, noon to 1. That should be interesting. Tyvus in for Rothman on Rothman and Ice from 1 to 3. 3 to 6, Common Man and T-Bone have their segment, Yikes. And 5:30, Jason Stark will be on there for Jason's Beef. So, Bobby, I put out here my fan poll. Shark gave it a B- today, which is a bit disappointing. I thought it was a good one. Which NFL star had the best weekend? Your choices are Myles Garrett, DK Metcalf, Josh Allen, Devontae Adams. Adams get the 2-year deal with the Rams for $46 million. Allen gets the
$1 billion, the
$330 million deal, $250 guarantee from the Bills. DK gets the deal with the Steelers, 5 years, $150, goes to away from Seattle, and then Myles Garrett signs the extension with the Browns. It averages $40 million a year.
So, I would say this. There's still some of the same issues in Cleveland that there were before Myles got the deal.
Right.
If you're Devontae Adams, you're going to a place with a really good quarterback in Matt Stafford who's going to be there.
Mm-hmm. And you got Puka Nacua there, too. It's like Puka, a really good... Yeah.
Did they lose in...
They lost in the... they lost to Washington, right? I believe
in the divisional round.
Divisional round, yep.
That's right.
Because they beat the Detroit first, right? Yes. They lost to the...
So, the Rams are... Listen, the Rams are good. Like, they've got weapons. Sean McVay's a really good coach.
Mm-hmm.
DK Metcalf, okay, you got out of your current situation. You went to a place that's maybe a better organization historically, but they still don't have a quarterback. Like Josh Allen, I would have to say it's the best of him because he has a team that's really good. They just paid him a lot, and they've paid some of the guys around him. He has a very young team right now. They retooled all of that. He has good young players who grew from it, and so I would say Josh Allen by far. Because he's the only one that got the money and the situation that's certain.
Josh Allen's in the lead right now with 42% of the vote. Myles Garrett, 40%. DK Metcalf, 13%. Devontae Adams, 5%. Shark, would your vote be for Josh Allen as well or Myles Garrett?
Oh, gosh. I don't think the Browns could trade Myles Garrett because of the salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he was
I think they
okay with that. He was not okay with not getting traded. He was okay with going to another team on this salary. So I think the fact that the dude got paid handsome. Now he still has to play in Cleveland, but that was a good weekend.
Is it a bad look, though, for Cleveland, like I said earlier? Is it because he said, I don't want to be here. We aren't going to win. I don't know. I want to go to a winner. And then says, okay, now I'll come here.
Do you think it was a bad look for Cleveland or a bad look for Myles?
I think it's a bad look for Myles.
I think it's both of them.
I think it's a function of
money talks.
I said no, but I mean, depending on how many dollars you slid at me, then I might say yes.
I mean, you slide $40 million at me, I'll work for another year.
Work doing what is the question?
Shark's coming back, folks.
Everything has a price tag.
Exactly. I always ask Rothman this all the time. Let's say, Rothman, you essentially, you work in radio, so your mouth is your device. How much is that worth to you? It's a question you all got to ask yourself.
I don't even need $40 million for another year, Bob. I'll do it for $4 million.
Exactly.
There you go.
Tegna's got to open up the pocketbooks here and get Shark in here for one more year. Look at that.
Executive producer.
Right. Executive producer. You're right. Yeah. He'll
bring in some associate producers underneath him.
He doesn't work on Mondays or Fridays. But Bobby, though, when I look at it, though, just from an optics perspective, I understand. Myles Garrett got paid. Myles Garrett,
I think the optics that Jimmy Haslam refused to meet with him, he said after he went through all that, I think and he's like, well, this is what I hired a GM and everything for. It's like, yeah, but you're ultimately the guy that signs the checks. And you were involved in the Deshaun signing as well.
Yeah.
So like, don't act like you're some standoff owner who's not involved at all.
I just look at it, though, like, Garrett's, okay, 30, whatever it's going to be. Then you still got to get out from underneath the Deshaun contract and develop a quarterback.
This is the last year. I mean, they're out from under it now, basically.
Right, but it's like...
You got one more year after this, but they've paid him most of the money.
They wasted Joe Thomas.
Yeah,
they wasted Joe Thomas, I'm saying. They wasted him.
Yeah.
They wasted Chubb. And I don't want them to waste Garrett. Garrett is such a talent.
They've already wasted a lot of them.
They've wasted a lot of it.
No, they did make the playoffs, and they've had some runs and stuff. Like they've been good. It's not like they've been 4-12 every year.
Right.
They won a playoff game, for heaven's sake, against the Steelers, which I never thought would happen. So they've been good. They just haven't. They've been on the cusp, and you felt like they had a chance to kick the door down, and then you make some decisions. Your quarterback, you move on from Baker, you're bringing Watson. It's like, and everything's supposed to work out, and then it doesn't.
The Dallas Mavericks yesterday, by the way, Bobby, they lost 125-116 to Phoenix, and at the end of the game, they only had 7 healthy players. Because of all the injuries they've had, and injuries happened in the game right there, this team that went out and got Anthony Davis and wanted to make this run this year, they said, we're built to win right now, had 7 players left in that game. And it's a terrible situation for Dallas and their fans, the fact that they are.
Who won the trade, Anthony Davis or Luka Doncic?
Luka won the trade.
Okay.
I think Luka won the trade. You said
they were supposed to win now.
Well, I was saying, but Dallas is built more because they traded for the older Anthony Davis older than Luka. And so I think Dallas's thought was, it misguided as it may be, I think Dallas's thought was, we want to win now, win sooner.
Fat Euro beer drinkers who smoke cigs.
Even though Fat Euro guy and Kyrie got them to the NBA Finals last year, they decided, no, we want to get injury-prone Anthony Davis in here. And you got your top 3 paid players in Dallas now are Anthony Davis.
That's the irony of all of this is they were worried about Luka's body breaking down as he got older because of his habits. I'm like, you're bringing in a guy who has proven that his body breaks down for you consistently.
Kyrie and Davis missed so many damn games, and the 3rd highest paid player on that team is Klay Thompson, who's 35 years old.
Yeah, that's tough.
I feel like
it's not a great recipe, to say the least.
And Mark Cuban came out and ripped him for that, too. Cuban is now a minority owner, not a majority owner, but did say that, yes, that was a bad trade. They should have tried to get more for Luka than they got.
I mean, I guess I'm trying to figure out who you would have, if you wanted to bring in a player now, who you would be able to bring in and what that would have looked like.
You know what it is? It's younger player. Whoever it is, you can get a younger guy, and you should get more draft picks out of L.A. for that deal.
Someone who's not injured. No
Right.
draft picks. Like, if they end up being good, then draft picks aren't going to be worth anything anyway. But I don't know. That was just amazing to see. And believe me, I'll be the first to tell Luka he needs to get his butt in shape.
Well, hopefully, I hope LeBron has that influence on him, because LeBron obviously does.
LeBron takes really good care of himself. Despite what you think of him,
I love
he's
LeBron.
Playing better basketball in his 40s than anybody else in the history of the NBA, and it's not even close.
Do you root for LeBron to win another title?
I would like to see him. Depends on who they'd be playing, but I'd like to see them. If they're playing the Cavs, no. But coming out of the West, yeah, I think
I would too. Yeah, I think I would too. Shark, you root for LeBron to win a title?
Yeah.
Okay, me too. Yep. Yeah, I agree with all of that. All right, that's it. That's a wrap for Morning Juice today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to our guest, Bill Bender. And we also had Bob McElligott on, and then Joshua Perry, as we always do. Again, stick around, because coming up next, 9 a.m. to noon with Bishop and Friends, Austin Ward from The Fan and The Podcast will be on. Later on today, the Jake Diebel Show, noon to 1. Make sure you check that out, as the Buckeyes are making their push in the Big Ten tournament coming up on Wednesday. And at 1 o'clock, Rothman and Ice, Tyvus in for Rothman. Thanks so much, and make sure you stick around. Bishop and Friends next, right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We are still watching delays for drivers coming in from the west side on I-70 eastbound. There's a crash right at the 7670 split that has traffic slow moving. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Next on Metro's Nada Yada Island podcast.
I almost fainted when the 4 new bombshells arrived. 4 free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G phones at Metro.
No way.
And finding out the 4th line is free. Oh, things got heated.
That's wild. Join Metro and get 4 free Samsung 5G phones. Only at Metro.
Plus tax. Bring 4 numbers and an ID and sign up for any Metro Flex plan. Not available currently at T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. And listeners, they're always asking me about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. Well, if you're wondering if you could be a good candidate, let's say the answer is yes to any of these questions. First, is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain, knees, hips, back, shoulders, other joints, trouble sleeping, walking, day-to-day movement? Next, do you want to avoid surgery? Because I didn't want to deal with it. And all of the pain and the long recovery and the uncertain time that comes with it. Here's the best part. Most importantly, do you miss doing things you love because the joint pain is holding you back? Whether that's walking, jogging, hanging out with loved ones. If you answered yes to any of those, I bet you're a great candidate. So do not wait. Call QC Kinetics right now and ask for their free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can get you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. They're located in Dublin, Gahanna, or you can go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is simple and effective. At the end of the day, it's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And betting reduced juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets, and be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Thanks. I gotta warn you, I drive a hard bargain. Okay. So let's hear your first offer. Well, how about? Yeah. With any 4-tire purchase, we'll give you a free alignment. Man, I'm good. All right, let's do it before you change your mind. And we'll also give you a free oil change. Ha! I can't believe I talked you into this deal. Sometimes I amaze even myself. Don't tell accounting. But with any 4-tire purchase at Tire Discounters, you get a free alignment and a free full synthetic oil change. See store for details.
It's March, and you know what that means. Bracket season. You've crunched the numbers, picked your favorites, and maybe even taken a big gamble on that Cinderella team. But when it comes to your home, gambling is not an option. Spring storms are rolling in, bringing strong winds, heavy rain, and unpredictable weather. The question is your roof ready? At Newman Roofing, we don't leave anything up to chance. Whether you need a new roof, gutter replacement, or updated siding, our expert team is here to educate you, guide you, and give you the best options to fit your home's needs. No high-pressure sales, no surprises, just top-quality work from a team you can trust. That's why homeowners choose Newman Roofing, the #1 overall seed here in Columbus, because we deliver an unbeatable customer experience every single time. So, don't wait until the damage is done. Beat the storm before it ruins your big dance. Call 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com to schedule your spot this spring. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Want a golf course quality lawn? It's easier and more affordable than you think with True Green. As the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, True Green brings pro-level expertise straight to your yard, so your lawn can look like a fairway. Sign up by March 10th and get 1 free application. Plus, you'll get True Green's price match guarantee. If you're not satisfied, True Green will revisit your lawn between scheduled visits to make it right. Visit TrueGreen.com today to get a free application. Offer ends March 10th. Restrictions apply.